Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need. What you need. We're broken, it's tragic. We're not all elastic, but maybe there's magic. Believe you could have it. And I know of sadness, the anxious and panic, the infinite vastness of all that is blackness.
Hello guys, how you going? How are we all on this Friday night, Saturday morning if you're here in Australia? Hey Checkered Past, how you going? Fred, how you going? Checkered Past said, Fred, that's my name too. Yeah. Sherry, how you going? Shannon, how you going? Deb, how you going? Who else have we got here? George, how you going? Rails, how you going? Alex, how you going? Hey, Heaven Sent and everyone, sorry I missed yesterday. I had an early meeting today, so just listened in. That's okay, Alex. I thought something had happened, you know, like you had either have to have an early night or something. Sometime. Beckham, USA, how you going? Darren, how you going? Kevin, how you going? Simone, how you going? Who else have we got in here? Happy birthday, Sherry. Kevin, how you going? I think I said Kevin, George, Sherry, yep, Alex, okay. Let's get into, what have we got today? We've got some interesting stuff today. In Clown World today, someone's interested in purchasing something. Okay, let's have a look. Let's just make this big and have a look at what's going on here, because it's quite interesting.
Howdy guys.
Hi, who are you? This is our house.
What are you doing here? This is not your home.
Yes, this is. No, get the fuck out.
No. Call the police, please.
Cops are calling now.
Okay, because I
He knows you're full of shit. Just get out.
It's my hood, y'all.
Just get out.
You took that out of the front yard?
Along with the other two signs, because I'm interested in purchasing this home, but there's obviously been some sort of mix-up. It's not costing me a home.
We don't have the.
Who did you purchase the home from, sir?
What would you do? What would you do if you had a house for sale and you went over there and found someone in it? I didn't even know that was a thing. I mean, I know there's squatters and things like that, but I didn't think they did it in houses that were for sale. Okay. Tom Fitton said Alito correctly rejects leftist senator's corrupt attempt to rig a Supreme Court case. Carrie Severino said Justice Alito just publicly rejected Senator Durbin's absurd demand that he recuse in the upcoming Moore v. United States tax case. This is part of the new playbook for Democrats to try to pack the court by subtracting justices in key cases through bogus recusal demands. I believe they've been doing this for a long time. They wrap people up in court cases. I just personally, I think that's been going on for quite a while. Sweet Pea Bell said, wow, just wow. They went to the FBI with no evidence of a crime committed by Ken Paxton. Unbelievable. And here we are today, a presumption that someone committed a crime and no evidence needed. What is going on?
You didn't know
Hang on. Let me just make this bigger.
that Ken Paxton had disclosed anything to anyone when you made this report to the FBI, did you?
No.
You were hoping the FBI would sort it out for you and not think that you were co-conspirators with him, correct?
No. The purpose of the complaint to the FBI was because we had formed a belief in good faith that the Attorney General was involved in criminal activity.
This is something that I keep hearing over and over again. We formed a good, let me make sure I get it right, formed a good faith belief that the Attorney General of this state was engaged in illegal activity. Did I say that right?
That's accurate.
But you didn't know, right?
Well,
You didn't know, right?
that's the point of the good faith belief, is we had no evidence that we could point to, but we had reasonable conclusions that we could draw.
You went to the FBI and reported the Attorney General of this state with no evidence. Do I have that correct?
We reported the facts to the FBI.
That's not my question. You had no evidence that Ken Paxton had done anything illegal. Did you?
Your Honor, it's not.
Oh, Twitter's playing again. Oh, they've gone back to the beginning too. It's only on this account. That's weird. It doesn't happen on the other one. Where were we up to? About here?
No evidence that Ken Paxton had done anything illegal. Did you?
Your Honor, it's not necessary to yell at this witness. I suggest it's disrespectful. I request he quit doing it.
I apologize. Let me do this again at a lower volume. We get this straight. You went to the FBI and reported him for potential crimes without any evidence. Do I have that correct?
We went to the FBI and reported
Please answer my question. Yes
our
or no.
belief that criminal activity had occurred.
That was not my question.
Was this easy to answer the question? Yes or no?
Did I ask it again, Mr. Vassar? I want to get this straight. You went to the FBI on September 30th with your compatriot.
I think we get it. He went to the FBI with no evidence. Insane. Cara Castronova. You do not want to miss the Gateway Pundit's Twitter space tonight at 8 p.m. Proud Boy Enrique Tario will call in from jail with a tell-all. He told the Gateway Pundit the feds tried to get him to lie and say he had connected to President Trump through 3 layers of connections, and they had communicated about January 6. Tario said he refused to sign their work of fiction and has now been sentenced to 22 years in prison. According to Tario, they asked him to lie about a president of the United States, the very same president that is running for re-election and they are trying to keep off the ballots. This is a major smack in the face to anyone who wants to vote for Donald Trump. It is our choice to make who we vote for. Special guests will include all these people here. Gateway Pundit Jim Hoff, Patrick Byrne, Cassandra Rules, Brandon Straka, Kyle Sheriffan, H.W. Floyd Gibson for NYS, Help Stop Hate, Reckland, Johnny Tobacco, Barry Razi, National File, Zeke Arkham, and so many more. The information must reach the House GOP, the Judiciary GOP, and the Weaponization Committee at Weaponization. It is about time they investigate the January 6 trials, the judges, and the Department of Injustice. We, the people, elected them to do so. Please share far and wide. In the end, God wins. So for anyone wanting, this is on Hev's back, mate. Oh, I don't know what I did. I ended up on Twitter under my other account and bookmarked everything there. Imagine my surprise when I went to Hev's Truthseeker account this morning and there was nothing in there. I'm going, where did it go? Oh no. D. Francois Memes said, can you imagine the memes if this does happen and Big Mike runs? Dom Lecrae, breaker of narratives, said, breaking, Washington Time just confirmed my post that claimed Michelle Obama might be running in 2024. They also said she should be announcing in November This is the second time in 24 hours that I've released an exclusive before mainstream media. Stay tuned. So are they really?
Michelle Obama in 2024? Don't laugh, it could really happen. I'm Cheryl Chumley, and I'm the host of Bold and Blunt, the podcast that gives you a Christian conservative look at today's news, politics, culture, and events. And one of my guests this week is named Joel Gilbert, and he has spent years and years researching the Obama family. And he says, look for November for Michelle Obama to indeed announce a run for the White House. Yikes, if you're a limited government type of person. But to get the whole show, you'll have to subscribe or tune in to Bold and...
Oh, there you go. That's all we can see, apparently, from X, Twitter. Mel Peters said farmers report big uncertainty as sheep lamb prices remain in freefall, ABC. Farmers are doing it tough with drought, prices and interest rates all back to pre-COVID days. Problem is, our costs to operate have gone through the roof. This is how they drive the farmers off the land. I don't know, I haven't been to the butcher for about 2 or 3 weeks. Is lamb getting cheaper here in Australia? I don't know. Scott Adams said, here's your mind bender for the day. Robert Kennedy Jr. distrusts Big Pharma. He also has a voice disorder called spasmodic dysphonia. Once I had the same disorder. My voice problem was cured by surgery. I got the surgery after interviewing others who'd been cured the same way. Now suppose you Google search for cure for spasmodic dysphonia. What would come up? Would the surgical cure come up? Nope. You would only find Botox injections listed as treatment but not a cure. Very expensive per dose, lifetime treatments required. Now why do you suppose Google hides the cure and promotes expensive non-cure? It's exactly why you think it's happening. I was first told of this years ago, did not believe it until I saw it myself. Probably 30,000 patients with this disorder can't find information about the cure, and that includes doctors. I found the cure by tracking it down from doctor to doctor to get a personal recommendation for the surgery. After I was cured, I did a major publicity effort, including a feature in People, so people would know the cure exists. Good luck finding it now. Because apparently, according to Google, while there is no cure for this condition, we can offer you relief from your symptoms using the latest treatments available. Tell me the last time a doctor cured anything. Or Big Pharma, for that matter. Can anyone tell me? Because all they do, as far as I'm aware, is treat symptoms. One option we might suggest is speech therapy or psychological counselling to help reduce symptoms in mild cases. Botox injections are also effective treatment we offer for dysphonia. Yep, Botox, botulism, pretty much, in the face. I mean, I don't know where they put it for a throat, maybe in the neck. Oh, I couldn't even imagine. But there is an operation out there that you can get. And I know that Google, if you do a Google search on anything, doesn't matter what it is, right? You go and do a Google search and they will say there are billions, if not millions, if not billions of results. Yet you can only get to page 45 and there's about 12, maybe 24 results on each page. But you only get to page about 45 and it ends, there are no more results. So where are the other million, like the rest of the millions, hiding? I'd like to know. Rich Barris, the People's Pundit, said those who know what's going on behind the scenes know this outlier poll aims to convince GOP donors fleeing DeSantis to back Haley over Scott. In no universe does she, Christie and Pence perform better against Biden than Trump and DeSantis. We just polled it and she was at 34% because the mainstream media are trying to push forward that Nikki Haley is GOP's best chance at beating Biden in 2024. Another rhino, isn't she? I mean, is she a Democrat? Or, no, she's a rhino by the look of it. I don't know. Someone can let me know in the comments anyway. Election Wizard said Trump, the Biden administration wants to now make our army tanks all electric. Oh, what could possibly go wrong? So that despite the fact they will not be able to go very far, fewer pollutants will be released into the air. They got to be so dumb. Imagine that. Are they going to put electric charging stations everywhere across countries so that the tanks can actually recharge? And it doesn't look like the electricity grid's going to keep up with it anyway, especially if they go solar and wind. We're in big trouble. Cat Turd said, posted this, Donald J. Trump, we just sent $520 million to Ukraine to make their energy cleaner. Yeah, I don't think that's why they did it. I think it's more, here, we'll send you this, send some back so we can put it right in the pocket there. Carolyn Coram said, Friday fun. Who wants to tell? This is hilarious. Who wants to tell this young lady? Okay, I'm going to just make it bigger and hang on, I'm going to pause it first. We're going to make this bigger. Now you've got to wait for this. I mean, this is hilarious. It was, okay.
I nanny a 6, 9, and 12-year-old, and yesterday I had to take the 6-year-old to a birthday party and be back in time to get the 9-year-old to gymnastics, but traffic was crazy and I was running late. So the 9-year-old has an iPad, so I tried to call her on it. She didn't have it with her. So the 12-year-old just got his own phone, so I called him, and I was like, go tell your sister, and of course he was annoyed. Anyway, I go back to the house, and Mira, the 9-year-old, is like, they need to come up with, like a phone that's for the whole family, that stays in the house, so if you need any person in the house, you can call that phone. Like, it's not one person's number, it's just the whole family. I was like, that is an amazing idea, but, okay, hear me out. So you know how we're always, like, losing the remote and stuff? For this phone, let's attach it to a cord, maybe, like, stick it on the wall, so that if there's an emergency, we can always find it. It can't leave the house, and it's for the whole family. So we're not techie people. We don't know how to, like, invent things. But if you're, like, a developer of stuff, reach out, because we think it's an awesome idea and maybe a moneymaker.
Does anyone want to let her know? They're called home phones.
I nanny a...
And we had them, well, up until recently. Now, well, we've still got home phones, but it goes through modems now. You can't have a separate. So if your electricity goes out, so does the phone. Bye. Before it used to still run because it was plugged into the direct to the telephone line. But now, Okay, the opinionated black woman, Auntie, said this is not creepy at all. No, there's nothing creepy about a robot baby. Now the top bit, okay, I'm showing you something, but the bottom bit is also a robot baby, okay? And I've never seen anything look more strange in my life, okay? You ready for it? Let's have a look at both together, hang on. The bottom one is a robot. It's not a baby. It's funny because it took me a couple of seconds because I was looking at it on my phone. That is a robot. I couldn't imagine anything more strange. Let's put it that way. Why? Why are they doing this? Why? Kellyanne Convoy said, I've been doing polling for over 30 years. I've never seen so many negatives visited upon one president, including from his own party, in a single poll. That's today's CNN poll. No confidence in his ability to serve. 74%, including a majority of Democrats, do not think that Joe Biden has the stamina and sharpness to serve effectively as president. You don't say. Electability problems. 67% of Democrats wish the party would nominate someone other than Biden. Well, Michelle might be coming. And Biden loses to nearly every Republican tested in 2024 general election matchup. Failing and flailing on policy. 58% say Biden's policies have made economic conditions in the US worse. I'd say the whole world. I don't know, since he came in, ours have gotten worse too. 70% say things in the country are going badly, and just 39% approve of of the job Biden is doing overall. Biden's personal image is cratering. A majority say Biden does not care about people like themselves, and 72% say he does not inspire confidence. No one's buying Biden's lies. 61% say Biden did have some involvement in his son Hunter Biden's business dealings in Ukraine and China while serving as vice president. So there you go. Not much faith in... I wonder why. Oh, no. Paula loves children, replying to somebody. I think the worst part about Royal Mr. Bad News is this. MAP equals minor attracted person. I think I've shared some of this person's stuff and not realising. The real dark judge, so they accepted that they are a MAP. Oh no, I'm not reading that. You can read that. Supergirl looking, Supergirl hotter. What? Okay. I was the aggressor? Really? 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 I never touched those girls who jumped me? Yeah, okay. Lady Gaga is such a doll. I love her, and if I can't have her, then I want... Who? Jose Colour CA? I don't know. Some people are child lovers. Get over it. Oh, dear God. Both are minority sexual orientation groups with a history of discrimination. We are committed to fight for the rights. They've stuck a P in there now. There you go. LGBTPQ plus, and they've dropped the I, A. Oh no, this is a brand new symbol for... That's the Omega, isn't it? The Omega symbol. Well, okay, say hello to the age of the age of progress. Kyle McDormand said, I'm honestly happy that the LGBT Foundation is finally speaking out for pedos' rights. Love is gender and age blind. I know you see this. This is a slippery slope we were talking about. Here when they had accepted gay marriage, I said it was a slippery slope, and people were going, oh, the slippery slope, yeah, right, a slippery slope. Yeah, well, here we are. The MAPs are trying to get these same rights. It's an insidious dark agenda. What does that stand for? Minor attracted persons. So, yeah, I've got to... I'm going to block this person. They do come up on my thing. I don't know if I've ever read them out online, but my apologies if I have, seriously. Dear God, thank God for that person there then. I don't know. Is it the same person? I'm not sure, but I don't want to be reading a pedo's posts out. So General Michael Flynn said, powerful, courageous, honest, authentic, what all true journalists should strive for. Lara Logan routinely demonstrates these in her reporting. Lara Logan said, for months we've been working on a series of stories about January 6. I did not expect to meet so many extraordinary people in ordinary places who travelled all the way to Washington, D.C. on January 6, some of whom had never seen the Capitol in their lives. You probably don't know their names or faces, and that's by design. I learned so many things I did not expect, and I was reminded why I still fight to go beyond the headlines and false narratives and find the truth that lies in the rest of the story, the parts you weren't told. And she's linked this, truth in media. It's hard to find the truth these days, and it's needed now more than ever. Lara Logan has travelled across America to bring you the truth about the events of January 6. Don't miss her latest series, The Rest of the Story, coming soon on X and, pardon me, Sovereign Media. So there you go. I think she's going to release the truth about a lot of things there as well, with help from other people. I think a lot of people are working together to release bits and pieces of the truth. Crypto Town Hall said, breaking, FTX co-CEO Ryan Salame pleads guilty. Salame has been in talks with federal prosecutors for a long time about pleading guilty to criminal charges in connection with the fraud case against FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried. He was freed. Today he pled guilty to all charges. He was very connected to the political donations machines FTX ran, donating to both sides of the aisle. Salome is accused of using straw donors to contribute millions of dollars to political campaigns. Prosecutors say that Bankman-Fried was the real source of the money. Will SBF ever be found guilty and sentenced? This here is SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried. I was calling him Fried before because I thought he was fried, but now it's Fried because he's free. Insane. But yet his the co-CEO has pled guilty. This guy gets away with it. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Emma Borrow's kids said Australian government flags new rules on cat ownership, with cat owners being banned from allowing their pets outside or even from owning a cat at all in some areas because they're a threat to wildlife. Yeah, try coming at me with that one. Albo MP tackling the big issues again. Cat owners that would ban their pets from going outside and restrict strict ownership in some areas. Well, you know what you can do? You can shove it. Seriously. My cats go outside. I think it's cruel to keep them inside to, you know, because of where I am. They have room. They can go outside. But, yeah. Try coming after my cats. Albo. 7 News Melbourne. I don't know why did I put 7 News in here. Breaking police. Oh yeah, an incident on Burke Street. It's believed a vehicle has struck several pedestrians before colliding with 2 vehicles near Russell and Burke Street. The driver of the vehicle was arrested at the scene. Updates to come. There's a lot of updates. Horror as several pedestrians hit by car in the heart of Melbourne CBD. Apparently it was on purpose. Incident. You modern day media are pathetic. You will always manipulate the truth to hide facts, says Nasty One Reborn. Lilac says she saw the whole incident. The white car hit 3 people. One of the girls was bumped to fly. It was so horrible. I can't believe it's happening in the city. And I was about to cross the road. It would be me on the ground if it happened 30 seconds later. Isn't Friday the day some people meet up at the local mosque? There's a reason for people asking this. Gabs said more false flags to keep sheeple busy with work and stress. Let me guess, the driver was disqualified? The killer driver on his car. No one thought to take him down. Okay. Okay, apparently this person, was it a terrorist attack? The person deliberately did it. Deliberately drove into a crowd of people. And people are saying that they are Islamic. Now, I don't know if this is a false flag to try and get people fighting. Like Australians against Islamists and whatever. I'm not sure. Either that or it was deliberately done. Who knows? But I can't see people sitting on the car like that after they've just ploughed through people deliberately. I don't know. You can make up your own mind about that. And mind you, this is mainstream news reporting it, so they might be trying to take the focus off something else. Alexandria Marshall said they should be sacked immediately. This vote yes mob are really acting like bloody communists. As you know, CDU has also taken the stance of a yes vote, Professor Stanley wrote. The speech pathology courses at CDU have been created with notions of equity and social justice at their core. We will be voting yes. If you feel you are unable to vote yes for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people's rights, you might want to reflect deeply on whether a career in allied health in Australia is really for you. In other words, if you're not going to vote yes, we want you to go. Wow. Allied health. Yeah, that's Australia's corporation health, you know, the whole, yeah, you know what I mean. Because doctors aren't really doctors anymore. I don't know if you know, some doctors aren't even doctors. They're just, I don't know. I don't even know what they are. They haven't been treated in medical stuff, more in technology. So work that out. Scott H. Fishman said Tucker is outing Obama as gay, but everyone is missing the big story. I'm Obama's college classmate. I've been trying to warn America for 15 years. By Wayne Allen Root. I'm Barack Obama's college classmate at Columbia University, class of 83. I'm also the author of the #1 best-selling hardcover book in America in 2012, The Ultimate Obama Survival Guide. I've always had Obama's number. I understand what makes him tick. I understand his goals. First, let's get to the gay issue out of the way. I've reported on both my radio and TV show for 15 years that my wealthy, connected friends in Chicago have always said Obama frequented gay bathhouses and gay clubs. Everyone in the know knows Obama is gay. Now that we've heard from Obama's biographer that Obama wrote about his daily gay fantasies, I think it's pretty clear my Chicago pals were right. Tucker Carlson is onto something. But being gay is not the issue. The issue here is fraud. If Obama is in fact gay, then he was lying to the American people from day one. He portrayed himself as a happily married family man with a wife and 2 beautiful young daughters. That's called fraud. If America had known the truth in 2008, does anyone honestly think Obama would have been elected president? But all of this is small potatoes. It's not the big story. Why does any of this matter now? Because Joe Biden is a brain-dead puppet. This is the 3rd term of Obama. The proof is we are all reliving the nightmare Obama economy. Great for Wall Street and billion-dollar multinational corporations, but a disaster for the American middle class and Main Street. Second, Biden is fading fast and everyone can see it. At the same time, Biden's cognitive health is in freefall. All of his corruption from the past is pouring out of the closet. Biden is finished. He's toast. He will never make it to 2024. Sometime this fall, Biden will have a very public episode and be hospitalised. Soon thereafter, he or Jill will announce he's stepping down for health reasons. Who will replace him? Either Michelle Obama or Gavin Newsom. But whoever it is, Obama will be calling the shots from his nearby Washington, D.C. mansion. That's why this story matters. One sec, guys. I've had Obama pegged from the first day. Obama is the ultimate Manchurian candidate. Gay is unimportant. What matters is he was groomed to be president by the deep state and communist, fascist, globalist enemies of the United States. Sorry, guys. I've got a tickle in my throat. Okay, let's try that again. What matters is Obama's a radical Marxist tyrant carrying out the destruction of America. Obama was tame in his first 2 terms. He was boiling the frog slowly. But Trump ruined his plan. Now Obama is trying to destroy this country as fast as he can before Trump has a second chance to undo the damage. And at the same time, Obama is coordinating the attacks on Trump to either imprison him, kill him, or disqualify him. One sec. I've seriously got a bad tickle. I'm going to mute the mic for 1 sec. Okay, it was one of those eye-watering tickle in the throat. Okay, at the same time, Obama's coordinating the attacks on Trump to either imprison him, kill him, or disqualify him. My guest on my show, America's Top 10 Countdown on Real America's Voice TV last week, was former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich. Blago's governor's mansion was raided by an early morning FBI SWAT team. Sound familiar? I pointed out to Blago that Obama's fingerprints were all over his frame job, an FBI SWAT raid, and long prison sentence. Obama set him up. Obama took away his freedom. I asked him to comment. Blago reported Obama set up the meeting that led to my arrest. Do you get it now? It's the exact same MO as what is happening to President Trump. The same FBI raids, persecution, frame job, the same weaponization of government to destroy Obama's political adversaries. I've always said that the key to understanding Obama was his time at Columbia University. Here we go again. I'm so sorry, guys. Oh, my apologies. It's still there. Okay. The same weaponization of government to destroy Obama's political adversaries. I've always said the key to understanding Obama was his time at Columbia University. First, there is the Ghost of Columbia mystery. I was a pre-law political science major. So was Obama. He had to be in all the same classes as me, but he was never in one class. I never met Obama, never saw him, never heard of him, never met anyone at Columbia who has. Obama got in, so why didn't anyone ever see him? My educated guess is Obama was in the Soviet Union studying communism. Columbia had a sister school in Moscow. That would be the only real answer as to why Obama was rarely, if ever, seen at Columbia. He was being groomed way back then by the enemies of America. Secondly, at Columbia, we learned a plan to destroy America called Cloward Piven. I'll bet Obama spent 2 years in the Soviet Union at our sister school becoming the world's expert. Look around. Everything happening in America today is Cloward Piven. That's something to look up. The open borders bringing millions of foreigners into our country, changing our demographics forever. The explosion of welfare and bailouts. The Green New Deal, the destruction of our military, the end of the dollar as world reserve currency, the plans for pandemic lockdowns, climate change lockdowns, and central bank digital currency, the censorship, banning of dissent and weaponization of government against conservatives and Christians, defund the police, the vicious criminals let out without bail, critical race theory and transgender brainwashing, persecution of PTA parents, conservatives and Christians classified as domestic terrorists, the arrest of political opponents, 87,000 new RS agents. It's all about Cloward Piven and communist level control. Sound familiar? It's what the Obama Manchurian candidate learnt in the Soviet Union from the best. This man was groomed from day one by the communist and globalist enemies of America. He was sent to destroy us. Now he's working behind the scenes to finish the job. He's the man who ordered the spying on Trump, the framing of Trump. Now he's the man directing the non-stop government attacks against Trump, just as he did to Blago. So Obama being gay is the least of it. America is being destroyed. Obama is at the root of every evil thing that is happening. I have to look up that Cloward Piven thing. That's very interesting. Yeah, a puppet. Pauline Hanson said, who else agrees? The new Qantas CEO's big move to clean mess. You could start by dropping the constant welcome to country. Because apparently every time you get onto a Qantas flight now, what you hear is some welcome to country thing that they pay some person a lot of money to do for no reason. No need for it. Danny Q, conspiracy factualist, said, laugh my ass off. 8 people, such a massive turnout. Normal Australians are finally beginning to see what the divisive racist voice is about and voting no. Oh, they had a great turnout. Look at that. It's getting smaller and smaller. Is anyone else noticing? And hey, where's the Aboriginal people? I see none. Do you? Can you spot the Abo? Sorry, that's short for Aboriginal. Rob Smith said Richard Marles should resign and do it today. Another Australian idiot. He has now asked for 24/7 security. Why? So he can fly in the RAAF VIP jet, the Royal Australian Air Force. This bloke is beyond a bloody joke, hiding behind a fake security threat so he can fly in the VIP jet. Frequent flyer miles saga getting weirder by the hour. The story involving Deputy Prime Minister Richard Marles' use of VIP flights is getting weirder by the hour. Why? What's other than him? Is that it? That looks like okay. There's no story. Oops, Sky News. What happened there? Who knows? There's no story, but apparently it's just getting weirder by the hour. Charlie Kirk said, of course, the DC jury found Peter Navarro guilty. Of course, the regime targeted him. Of course, this is political persecution. Peter Navarro was protected by executive privilege and was under no obligation to testify before this corrupt J6 committee. He's a good man and deserves our support. Let's have a little listen to this.
The day that Judge Maida ruled that I could not use executive privilege as a defense in this case, the die was cast. This was pro forma. Pro forma. We knew going in what the verdict was going to be. That's why this is going to the appeals court. And we feel, look, I said from the beginning, this is going to the Supreme Court, I said from the beginning, I am willing to go to prison to settle this issue. I'm willing to do that. But I also know that the likelihood of me going to prison is relatively small because we are right on this issue. The day that Judge Maida ruled.
Interesting. So see, that's why I think they just try and tie people up in court cases. Big Dog said, what about this lovely lookout? Oh, dear God. I hope they don't do that to the Blue Mountains. That's disgusting. Never seen anything just so disgusting. Can you imagine just seeing this, like, as far as the eye could see, if all of them were covered in it? And wouldn't that make things hotter? I don't know, but these things attract this, they're supposed to work by sunlight, and it's not, greenery cools things down. If you're around more greenery, rather than being in a concrete jungle, it'll be cooler. Okay, because concrete and the glass and everything, they attract the heat, they absorb the heat, and they radiate heat. So, would that make it hotter? I don't know. Donald Trump Jr. said Dems and rhinos are never going to let a little thing like evidence stand in the way of their political persecution. And again, we see the same guy questioning with no evidence. He's, you know, insane. I'm sure ours do it too. Come on, man. Said 2,000 questions unanswered in the Senate since Labor came into government. Nearly 90% of documents are hidden away from public examination. Labor have become the most secretive government in history. What have they got to hide? Their incompetence, of course. Just useless fools creating a mess. Labor. Labor. Goofy looking guy. Yeah, this woman and this half-wit. Okay, Gill said another narcissistic psychopath. This guy and Trudeau are brothers. Melinda Richards said, can we get a refund on the money spent thus far then, Dan? So this guy and Justin Trudeau, like, they're pretty on par with each other.
This is our moment. We need to give Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people a voice and deliver in full on the Uluru Statement from the Heart. And it is absolutely breathtaking. It is appalling for the Liberal Party to say that this is an act of division. This is an opportunity and an obligation for national unity. That's what this is. Putting right the injustices of the past, or at least taking a big step towards doing that. Do you think that you get unity by telling First Nations leadership who gathered and laid down that Uluru Statement from the Heart, telling them that they were wrong? That's a unifying act, is it? This is appalling. It is absolutely appalling. And the Liberal and National Party, despite any state-based weasel words, stand condemned. To campaign against this is just wrong. It's just wrong. That's my view. People have to make their own judgments. But part of leadership is calling out racism, bigotry, and just a mean-spiritedness, a nastiness. They are a nasty outfit. If we can't find it in our hearts as a modern progressive Australia to acknowledge the terrible horrors of our past, then we will never have a shared future together. The final lines of the Uluru Statement simply ask for that all Australians walk with First Nations Australians. Is that too much to ask?
Sorry, I nearly fell asleep. What a lot of gaslighting. What a lot of BS, seriously. I can't, look, seriously, dividing people up into races in a country, how does that bring unity? He's insane. Him and Justin Trudeau should, I don't know, should go on an island somewhere. Suleiman Ahmed said, breaking, Elon Musk turned off Starlink to stop Ukrainian attack on Russia. Elon Musk covertly instructed his team of engineers to deactivate his company's Starlink satellite communications network along the Crimean coast during a Ukrainian offensive. This covert action was taken to thwart a potential surprise Ukraine assault on the Russian naval fleet, as revealed in Walter Isaacson's biography. When Ukrainian submarine drones armed with explosives advanced towards the Russian fleet, they mysteriously lost connectivity. Now we know Musk deactivated Starlink. Musk's decision, despite Ukraine officials pleading for the reactivation of the satellites, stemmed from his concern that a Ukrainian strike on Crimea might trigger a nuclear response from Russia. The fear came about after Musk's open discussions with high-ranking Russian officials. Thus, Musk wielded the power to determine the outcome of a critical battle, potentially averting nuclear war. And that's what he did, because they would have attacked. You know, Ukraine, what Ukraine wants to do, and the deep state want to do. They want to start a war. And Elon Musk actually stopped it by turning off Starlink. Come on, man, said so the dud PM Albo runs away from question time because he has no answers and thinks people are dumb enough to believe he's missing overseas because he's doing something more important. The fact is, Albo doesn't even want the scrutiny when he is missing either. What a grub. Let's have a listen.
I'd rather not get into, as you know, my practice. I'm happy to discuss. I'm happy to discuss those issues back in Australia on Monday. Last one.
But Catherine King says that she spoke with colleagues prior to making the Qatar decision. It's domestic and international. No, it's domestic and international.
Last one.
Did she speak to you or seek your advice?
That is not.
Do you still have confidence in your transparency?
Of course I do. I'd rather not get into, as you know.
So he didn't want to answer the question when he got back either, by the look of that. I don't know, he seems to, I don't know. Through his teeth? I don't know. I think he's drunk half the time. Aussie 3113. I'm going to apply all camera locations, all road blocking bollard locations. Wish me well. V said another conspiracy theory. Business development managers smart cities. This is a job. Okay? The Justified Talent Group, PTY Ltd, full-time Brisbane, Queensland, 130,000 to 140,000 base OTE, 200,000. Use your knowledge of local government, work from anywhere, world-class tech, accelerating net zero. Work with councils and LGAs to drive smart cities and accelerate their... Oh, I've just had an idea. Instead of accelerating their journey, maybe someone should apply for this and see if we could throw spanners in the works. That was my thought. Sorry. I was joking. Okay? Just YouTube. I was joking. I might not be joking. Hello Possums said, well, it all starts. The Greenies are shutting down all timber logging for firewood for people around the Colac and Otways. They say wood heating is destroying the climate and electricity would be far better and cheaper. Heating. What a load of monkey poo. These tossers are effed. Oh, Pingu. Oh, yeah, try coming after my wood heater or my cats, right? Seriously, government, try it. Yeah, sure. They'll be up for a fight. Cat turd's going. I mean, therefore I am, said New Yorker, says it as it is. Let's have a listen to this lady.
New York parents, you keep making fucking noise, okay? Because this governor does not give a fuck about our kids, okay? They said, listen, kids come to school, you cannot turn them away based on their immigration status. They don't.
Just one warning, there's swearing in this.
Don't speak English, you need to find somebody who can speak their language. I'm sorry, what the fuck did you just say? Because I'll tell you right now, when my kids went to school, every fucking time I had to register a kid, I needed a mortgage paper. I needed a tax.
Oh, come on, Twitter. It's this account. Shit.
About our kids, okay? Turn them away based on their immigration status. They don't speak English, you need to find somebody who can speak their language. I'm sorry, what the fuck did you just say? Because I'll tell you right now, when my kids went to school, every fucking time I had to register a kid, I needed a mortgage paper. I needed a tax bill. I needed utility fucking bills, birth certificates, vaccination fucking records, okay? My kids had to be up to date on their polio, on their MMR, on their DPT, on their fucking parvo and rabies and shit like that, okay? Now you're gonna let all these kids in the school that have nothing? So I had to protect everybody else's kids. I had to follow all these rules. But now, fuck it. We're just going to throw it out to the wayside because you have a little bit of a fucking crisis. No, it doesn't work like that. You know what else doesn't work? What else doesn't work is that I have a vehicle that is licensed and registered and insured. You got all these little electric things, these scooters, these mopeds that have nothing. And they're being used all over the city because the migrants have to learn how to make money. They have to be able to deliver food. They have to be able to run fucking errands. With what money, I have no idea. However, what happens when one of these little fucking mopeds hits my car and they don't have insurance? Who's going to pay that? Me? Of course I am. I'm not going to drive around in a piece of shit fucking car, okay? This is ridiculous. This is absolutely fucking ridiculous. And you know where it starts? It starts at the top with Bobo, okay? You know, the non-mask wearing, I don't give a fuck about a veteran. I'm going to walk off the stage and I'm a complete fucking moron. So Harris is going to be president. That guy, that's what I'm talking about, okay? But parents, like I said, you keep going because even the most liberal fucking parents out there that I've seen are pissed. We had to stay in a district that we paid taxes in, and now our schools are a fucking nightmare. It's a shit show. It all goes. It doesn't matter. You know what? When your kid starts coming home with measles and fucking polio, remember a couple years ago that was a big thing? It's coming back. Fucking Hochul's a moron.
I'll wait till they find out that all the things they have to give children to get to school aren't good. But anyway, watch New York and watch California. And that lady's right, you know. People are waking up. Amazing Polly's sword sharpener said regarding the Canadian trucker convoy and the arrests made, am I right that Jewish face of the convoy who appeared on the big media platforms, B.J. Ditcher, was the only one not arrested? Why? If he was the face of it, why wasn't he? Was Ditcher arrested or not? It's not that he's, or is he Jewish or not? Does anyone in the press ask why he, the self-proclaimed leader of the convoy and the collector of the $20 million, was not arrested? Andy Lee will be of no help as she promotes him. Wow. Randy said that is correct. Okay. Interesting. I don't know who these people are, but yeah, apparently the person who got the $20 million in cash was not arrested. And it was self-appointed face of the trucker convoy. Wall Street Apes said the Sound of Freedom's Jim Caviezel exposes Joe Biden, his handlers, the FBI, CIA, and everything happening in the world right now. A storm is coming. Wouldn't hire me, but see, they're all controlled by the central banks. Do you really think Biden is the president of the United States? Do you really think he's running our country? Who above him? Who are the puppeteers? Here's how you'll know through everything I've said, though everything I've said is the truth. When they come out, and they'll just blast me. They have to. They have no choice because the devil has no choice in this matter. God is coming for him, and I'm talking about the Christ Jesus God. That is the one that's coming after him, and there is a big storm coming and they know it. So they have to go and threaten you with everything from Q, Anon, or whatever they want to say. Do you know what Q really means? It means questions. What did I say about a year or a year and a half ago? If anyone was with me on the other channels, Q, questions. That's what one of these people told me, and I said, well, that seems like a good thing. Anon, question, right? Anons then go out and research to see if it's true because we've been fed their lies. Think about Monday, what happened? A Durham report was dropped, the FBI, the CIA, the whole thing. Hang on, how did I miss that? All of these guys are involved. Now I know it's not all of them. The lower guys are probably just crying. But I'm asking you warriors to come out and tell the truth. If we would just unite, you know, I love that scene from Mel Gibson. I love that movie when it runs out. Where are you going? I'm going to pick a fight. Well, I'm here to pick one right now because I'll do it for my children and I'll do it for your children. And that's pretty much what he says during that whole video. He probably would have said it better than I read it, but I agree. Cernovich said, Zuckbucks, those CTCL employees are able to determine if a voter was likely to vote for Trump or Biden. They were allowed to see voters who had requested ballots but hadn't returned them, then go chase them down to get their ballots. Rachel Alexander said, the testimony by the first witness, Trump's attorney John Eastman, called to put on his side of the case in his disbarment trial, has been nothing less than explosive. The trial ended for the day with more bombshells. He revealed that the Zuckbucks, $8.8 million from Zuckerberg's Center for Tech and Civic Life, provided to Wisconsin's 5 large cities, violated the law. He said he doesn't call them grants, he refers to it as employment contracts. Since the CTCL employees actually go to work with the clerk's offices and get to see information about the voters that the public can't access as easily. The public has to pay $12,500 for voter roll info, only gets a snapshot of that instant and usually has to wait 4 or 5 days for it. So there's no way to determine whether someone was made active 2 weeks before the election, then deactivated 2 weeks after the election. Also, since if the clerks don't comply with CTCL's requirements, they have a huge penalty of giving money back. Those CTCL employees are able to determine if a voter was likely to vote for Trump or Biden. They were allowed to see voters who had requested ballots but hadn't returned them, then go chase them down to get their ballots. The CTCL employees were embedded in the clerk's offices and running the elections. Yet the Zuckerbergs had made statements they wanted to defeat Trump. He also said votes were illegally cast that were dropped off in the drop boxes since the drop boxes violated the law by not being placed near the clerk's offices, which the WI Supreme Court reaffirmed. Instead, the clerks let CTCL dictate where they must be placed. The guy the Zuckerbergs hired to run this had written a book on how to defeat Trump, where he said the election would be won dueling it out block by block in these types of big cities. So Zuckerberg, it's coming out that he's involved. They're all involved. Patrick said didn't have to take a second look. Memes are us too. Anyone notice anything? Oh, straight away. I don't know if anyone else can see that. Okay. Daily Telegraph said Sydney MP Kayla Tink has become emotional in Parliament as she called out the hostile and aggressive culture of Canberra. Here's what she had to say. I don't feel safe. Teal MP blasts aggressive Canberra culture. I see an Adam's apple. Does anyone else see that? I'm sure that's what they're talking about. Didn't have to take a second look. Anyone notice anything? Ooh. I mean, I don't know. That's the first thing that stuck out to me. Australia's most unemployable bloke said, Aussies unite for health, massive turnout as Australia embraces new booster. He's joking. Okay, this is a what do you call it? Satire. So let's go back to the beginning and have a listen, because I thought this was quite funny.
Well, good evening. There's been a major development in Australia's COVID-19 vaccine rollout, with medical regulators approving a 1200th Pfizer booster shot for adults, children, fetuses and all other living organisms. Up next, doctors are throwing away thousands of booster shots as demands plummet, and the app that promises to lower Australia's racism footprint.
An app to lower Australia's racist footprint. Oh my goodness. That was satire anyway. Alexandria Marshall said, yikes, just saw on Facebook one of my old school friends, an Anglo through and through, has given herself an Indigenous name to support the voice. She's basically wearing digital blackface. Her parents wasted their money on her private school education. Oh dear God, what are they being taught? That they can, I don't know, like they're calling weird things racist and other things seem to be promoting it. Clown Down Under said the Dark Emu debate. How can a book with so many faults be part of a curriculum? And why did the University of Melbourne appoint Bruce Pascoe as a professor, even though he isn't one? Asking for a friend. Let's listen. This is Bruce Pascoe here. He claims he's Aboriginal. Nothing of the sort.
No, I think you misunderstand my book. I've got an ambition for Australian kids that they learn about this stuff. The sophistication of Aboriginal people. I think the term hunters and gatherers has been used by people to reinforce terra nullius. That's a real shame, because what I'm interested in is that Australians know that Aboriginal people had a sophisticated lifestyle. We're doing pretty remarkable things with building.
Let's go back to sophistication. I have a real problem with this. What's wrong with being unsophisticated?
Well, see, I don't think we were.
No, that's not the point. Why do you hold up a god of sophistication as a kind of a solution to people feeling bad about themselves?
What Aboriginal people were doing was very unusual in the world. And I want Aboriginal kids to know these things so they have more pride in the old ancestors. And the more we learn about our country, the better we'll look after it. That's my view.
We agree to disagree, and occasionally we agree to agree.
I think we agree to agree on many occasions.
Well, we disagree on fundamentals here and there.
Okay, what this man has done, right, he's got English parents, both mother and father from England. He's got no Aboriginal in him at all. Yet he's written a book called The Dark Emu, and he said that Aborigines had farms and buildings and all sorts of things when they didn't. Anyway, he's trying to make up history as he goes along. Dr. Keck said how to clean pesticides off your food. I found this interesting, thought someone might be able to use it.
A study at the University of Massachusetts actually showed that washing your produce in water and baking soda significantly, like very significantly, reduced pesticides. So put your fruit in a bowl, add cold water, a couple tablespoons of baking soda, and let it sit for 15 minutes, and then rinse it off. A study at the University of Massachusetts...
I don't know if that'll help anyone, but I just thought I'd share it with you guys. Awakened Outlaw said, yes, we've been waiting for confirmation. Biden has now yet again extended one of Trump's executive orders, 13848, which, if you're paying attention, is absolutely central to the larger takedown in play. And if you're not familiar with this executive order, allow me to assure you that this is not in the best interests of the Democrat and GOP uni-party to extend it. In fact, if you're still clinging to the assertion that 2020 wasn't fraudulent, then this should absolutely send a shiver down your spine. That it's extended again for another year is a massive tell as to the veracity of what is going on. Because the Cat the Great said Biden extends EO 1384. Remember, it was running out. I reported on it a couple of videos ago. Continues national emergency with respect to foreign interference in elections. So there you go. It has been signed again. September the 7th, 2023. Okay, which people are linking with the military's running things, and sorry, it's freezing here today. My nose is running again. Craig Kelly said, great work by the United Australia Party Senator Babbitt, exposing not only the lack of transparency by the former Liberal National Government, but the Labor are worse. Senator Babbitt said the former Morrison government honoured an appallingly low rate of just 48.7% of Senate order for production of document requests. The current Albanese government has honoured just 20.4%. They are twice as secretive as Scott Morrison's government. Now, I'm not saying Scott Morrison's government was better, but Penny Wong falls for a Senate trap and admits to a sinister problem with the Labor government, and how Anthony Albanese's record is worse than Scott Morrison's already, twice as secret. I believe she's an infiltrator. I just don't. That's just my opinion. Not any evidence, but just my opinion. Mark PG said it's not Aboriginals from around Australia who live remotely pushing the voice. It's elite activists living in cities with distant Aboriginal relatives already bludging off the system that wants to get control of the pot of gold at the end of Albanese's voice rainbow. Raymond McCowan said the climate lovies are screechingly 3 days ago the warmest winter on record. Today the coldest spring data on record. Any chance they've not twigged Mother Nature has this under control? Yeah, it went from really nice 3 days ago here, beautiful 23, 24 degrees, down to 11 today is the maximum, and it's currently 5.9 degrees. Okay, Garlic Skin has eyes on here. Matt Wallace said rumours are circulating that Barack and Michelle have split up due to an affair. Michelle is currently alone in Mallorca, Spain, and looks very distressed. This comes only weeks after their private chef, Tafari Campbell, died under mysterious circumstances. It's a rumour, I don't know. Shocking Footage Girl says Michelle Obama attacked her at 13 years old. And now I can't show that on here because it's very explicit. Great YouTube. Fantastic. But she does accuse, I think, Biden and Obama. Died suddenly, said Bethany Charisse, said seeing the triple jab come down with COVID and immediately jump online to inform the world how grateful they are for their boosters because they're certain it could have been so much worse, is quite frankly the most amazing display of human stupidity I've ever witnessed. Yep, you get that all over Twitter. Oh, I've got COVID again, but I'm so glad I got the boosters because it could have been so much worse. You may not have got it if you didn't even get one in the first place. Freedom Australia. I'm a proud black man as verified by ABC fact checkers. So the ABC fact checkers are just useless because he's not. But the NPCs will buy that. Okay, Kanoka the Great said Joe Rogan and Tulsi Gabbard discussed the devastating Lahaina fire, the government blocking food and supplies, predatory investors swooping in to buy up homes, and the stark contrast between $700 sent to Lahaina households and the billions sent to Ukraine. What I heard over and over again was no one from the county, state or the federal government has shown their face in our community. It's neighbours helping neighbours, families helping families. People on the island of Molokai, I can't say that. Well, how do you pronounce that? Molokai? Are loading up whatever they have in their general store on these little boats and running to private boat dock on West Maui because it's the only place they wouldn't be blocked from bringing food, water and medical supplies. I don't have a good answer as to why they continue to block the roads, why they blocked Kai Lenny and others from using their boats and jet skis to bring supplies in through the water. You can say that they were trying to secure the area, but you're blocking friends and families from bringing necessary supplies in. Why aren't you communicating with the people? The results of their decisions left people, families and communities stranded in their most dire time of need, and the mayor didn't show his face until almost 2 weeks after the fire happened. Joe Rogan, how is it possible that these people could lose their homes and then lose their land? It goes for 7 minutes, but we'll have a little listen.
They were completely overwhelmed and unprepared for this unprecedented wildfire. It's the worst wildfire our country has seen in over 100 years. But the problem is, once you get to that point, like, oh shit, this is really, really, really bad. Not only in the hundreds of lives lost in that fire, but the surrounding communities of people who survived, but who went without power, who went without any cell phone signal, any ability to communicate with people, who didn't have, all of the gas stations in their neighborhood, they were empty. There was no way to get gas. They couldn't get food. They couldn't get clean water. The water supply systems were contaminated. I mean, there was disaster upon disaster that came in the aftermath of the fire that went unaddressed. And my biggest, I went there a few days after the fire happened. Maui was my district for 8 years when I served in Congress, and had a lot of friends there, and went out to those affected communities. And what I heard over and over again was, no one from the county, the state, or the federal government has shown their face in our community. It is neighbors helping neighbors, family.
Okay, I've read most of that, so we get what you're saying. And now there's reports that people have said, the conspiracy theorists were right again. They would deliberately set fires. Then we've got clown work. Oh, God. This is some mind-bending stuff, this is. This person thinks Eve was the first trans woman. Okay? Get ready for this.
But did you know that Eve, the very first woman, as per the Bible, was made of Adam's rib bone? And because of this, Eve, if we're gonna take it as literally as y'all like to, Eve would have had male DNA. So quite literally, if you were to have taken her DNA and looked at her chromosomes, which is another point randomly you guys like to make, it's like you believe in Adam and Eve, yet at the same time you like to quote science when you're attacking us. But anyways, if you were to look at the chromosomes of Eve, she would have Adam's chromosomes. So, which is it? Are you going to call Eve a man now? Literally the very first woman? Are you actually going to call her a man?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's why, there's XX and XY chromosomes in male and female. They do share some things, but then others are very, very different. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Because I thought it didn't matter how many surgeries we had or how early we started hormones, etc. I thought it never mattered because you can't change your chromosomes. I mean, I love me some God, I love me some Jesus, but check your facts.
The person is delusional. Seriously, that is delusional. Okay, Dr. Anastasia Maria Lupus said, why is this man the head of the WHO? Let's have a little listen to this. This is interesting.
Isn't a medical doctor. The appointment to the organization's highest position was controversial, given that in his previous role as Ethiopia's health minister, Tedros was accused of covering up 3 major health epidemics.
Tedros is no stranger to controversy. As a former Minister of Health in Ethiopia, he has been accused of an alleged cover-up of 3 possible cholera epidemics.
Prior to his appointment, Tedros was a high-ranking member of the Tigray People's Liberation Front, a brutal and corrupt political group responsible for crimes against humanity, including bombings, kidnappings, tortures, and killings. How does a man with such a controversial past score the top position at the world's most influential health organization?
I have known Bill and Melinda for many, many years now.
While serving as Ethiopia's health minister, Tedros...
Oh, I choked on myself that time. Sounds like they're all terrorists, these people.
...score the top position at the world's most influential health organization.
I have known Bill and Melinda for many, many years now.
While serving as Ethiopia's health minister, Tedros became intimately intertwined with both the Gates Foundation and the Clinton Foundation.
The health minister of Ethiopia, one of the ablest public servants I ever worked with.
With the backing of the two most powerful foundations on earth and the full support of the Communist Party of China, Tedros was a shoo-in.
We will have many body bags in front of us if we don't behave.
Yeah, it really looks like
Isn't a medical
this guy seems like a terrorist and he's in charge of the World Health Organization. Great. Dean Anderson said Agenda 21 is a plan to drive the population into urban hubs. 50% of our land is now under title dispute and inaccessible to Australians. Government passes laws allowing high-density construction in the inner suburbs. The Voice. Why don't people see what's going on? Exactly. That's what Agenda 21 was all about. Agenda 2030 is getting people from the country all pack in the cities, in those 15-minute cities where you can't, you know, everything. I watched a video yesterday that everything was in the same building. So you work in the building, you live in the building, and you shop in the building, in the one building. You don't go out of it. And that's what they want to do all over the world. Pack everyone into cities so it looks overpopulated. And then they can keep going. The world's overpopulated. We've got to get rid of some of you. Yeah, and that while they rape the resources of the land and make money for themselves. DOQ said this is getting wild. Nick Sauter said, weirdly enough, almost an entire month after the Maui fires, the federal presence seems to be expanding. These are several different federal checkpoints surrounding Lahaina that I photographed within 1 hour of each other today. I can't officially label these guys military because surprisingly many of them are DHS Gov in military-like fatigues. This situation seems to be getting more and more tense by the day, even amongst residents. What's going on? So they're using DHS dressed as army to block people? Is that what he said, DHS? Yeah. Crazy. Bro said the people pushing for the voice to Parliament versus the people that don't even know there's a referendum. Oh, look what we have here. The pink pussy hats. And there we have the Aboriginals who have no idea what's going on with the voice. Okay, but the people pushing it are like these people. The people pushing most agendas are inner city elite leftists, okay? They think they've got, they think they'll have a place when this is all over, but they're just useful idiots, pretty much. Wall Street Silver said, I honestly cannot believe this is a real article. Are these people living in such a fantasy that they don't recognise the root cause of their own misery? If the local elected leaders refuse to let officers do their job, then guess what? Cars and retail stores are going to be targets. Anything under $950 is fair game, because the law says so. Ian Miles Chong said it's a mystery. The mystery of San Francisco's car break-in crisis. Why it's so bad here and not elsewhere. Yeah, it's probably because you're, you know, very soft on crime and that... Oh my God. That's crazy. Slim Wiggy said young girl trans behind parents' back runs away and is trafficked by a pedo, rescued by the FBI. Until this gender ideologue public defender put her in state custody, deciding her parents weren't sufficiently affirming her, placed her in a male facility where she was, again, assaulted, essayed. The school officials were encouraging her to use the boys' bathroom even though they knew she was being threatened with SA. so she perceived it herself that she wasn't safe and she runs away from home, said Broyles. She runs into the arms of a waiting pedo who encounters her, essays her, traffics her with 2 other men, and takes her across state lines into Washington, D.C., then ultimately into Maryland. In Maryland, Sage was eventually tracked down and rescued by FBI agents, which is where her nightmare journey should have ended. However, the Baltimore juvenile court system assumed custody of the adolescent at the instruction of Anissa Khan, an area public defender. Khan had made the call that Sage's parents were not sufficiently affirming of her new identity, and according to the suit, fabricated a story of abuse and neglect by the parents that convinced a judge to keep her in custody. While in state custody, Sage was placed in a juvenile facility for young men, where again she was essayed, exposed to drugs and denied medical and mental health care, the suit claims. This is a 100-pound girl. What do you think happens in this facility, said Broyles. Maryland's top public defender, Natasha Dargiu, said she and her office were backing Khan in the fight. We fully support our attorney who appropriately represented her client in accordance with her legal, ethical and professional obligations, she said. Well, I don't know where your ethics are, but I think they're up the backside. At the male facility, and once again in fear for her safety, Sage again ran away and was again picked up by a sex trafficker who boarded to Texas, where she was again essayed, drugged, starved and tortured until law enforcement in Texas rescued her and notified her mother, who returned her to Virginia, the suit states. Since her return to her parents' home, Sage has undergone intensive inpatient and outpatient therapy to address the multiple incidents of extreme trauma. She was also diagnosed with complex PTSD. Broyles argues that what happened to Sage is a direct result of the school's failure. The issue at hand, however, will be fixed when ideologically driven school officials are forced to recognise it is not within their competency, their authority, to be transitioning a child without the direct involvement of the parents, period. This is Anissa Khan, who was sending Sage to a juvenile facility for young men instead of returning her to her parents, because she said that they were not affirming her gender, apparently. Right, not doing it right, okay? Crazy. Illuminati Bot said, seriously, aspartame penetrates the blood-brain barrier and can cause physical, mental and physiological problems, including cancer. It is in so many children's drinks and almost all chewing gum, diet soda, pop, etc. It was accidentally discovered in a lab. Aspartame is really bad for you. It's in most soft drink, which is soda, I think, in America. Pauline Hanson, let's go with the cartoon again, hey? 60-day dispensing. Pauline Hanson's Please Explain. When someone promises something that's too good to be true, you know it always is. Oh no, he's come up with another idea, has he? Albanese's new pharmacy rules are just another example of him misleading Aussies and shooting himself in the foot. Once again, a poorly thought out policy implemented without proper consultation threatens jobs and well-being. How? You'll just have to tune into today's episode to find out. Let's have a little listen to this.
Here you go, little Timmy. Your grandma's medication.
Gee whiz, thanks, Doc. Yeah, thanks, Doc.
No, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a humble community pharmacist. Call me Peter.
Well, Peter, for us country folks, you're the closest thing we've got to a doctor.
Just doing my part for the community, ma'am.
Guess what? Good news. I'm making medicines cheaper. Get ready for 60-day dispensing. Brought to you by
Hey, you're destroying my pharmacy.
No, I'm not. I'm saving patients $180 a year.
Hey, stop this nonsense.
You got a problem with cheaper medicines, do you, huh?
Oh, of course not. No, I just want to know who's paying for this.
You are. If we allow 60-day scripts, that saves me $1.6 billion over 4 years in dispensing fees.
Oh, but those dispensing fees make up 80% of my revenue. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Well, it might suck for you, Peter, but this is great news for Paul. No one has any sympathy for Big Pharma anyway.
I'm not Big Pharma. I'm little farmer. Those big pharmacies might be able to survive, but I won't.
Oh, well, how was I supposed to know that?
You should have just talked to us about it.
But you would have said no. Now, Phil, excuse me. Hey, what are you doing?
Shh, Timmy, no. There's no use.
Well, it looks like my work here is done. Now, before you criticise me about my failing referendum, my dwindling approval ratings, or my complete lack of concern for the cost of living crisis, I'd like to announce today that after no consultations with actual pharmacists, 60-day dispensing.
Mr. Albanese, is it true that you destroyed this community pharmacy?
No, come on, this isn't about that. This is about giving Paul here $180 out of my own pocket.
Whoa. I guess it's a good time to be Paul.
Now, come on, guys, let's go spread the news to the next community pharmacy.
Why is he doing this?
Oh, Timmy, this is just classic Labour. Another short-sighted policy that makes it look like they're helping, when in reality, they're just making things worse.
I guess it really isn't easy under Albanese.
Ah! I've shot myself in the foot. Paul, where's the nearest hospital?
It's 200 kilometres that way.
Oh, well, where's the GP?
190 k's that way.
Oh, Paul! Have you got any Dettol? What about a Band-Aid? Paul? Please? Authorised by D. Huxium for Paul.
To be honest, I don't know what he's done. He's obviously brought in a new rule for pharmacies. But I wish he would shoot himself in the foot, seriously. Actually, I don't wish it was the foot. Oh no. How did we get here? Okay. End Wokeness said you really have to wonder what the agenda is here. Why is the government refusing to remove these people from the streets? Everyone has the right to peacefully protest until it starts to infringe on the rights of others. It's only a matter of time before tempers flare and these situations get out of control. Because Wall Street Silver said German citizens have had enough of climate protesters. They're beginning to take matters into their own hands because the government refuses to deal with the activists who are blocking roads and interfering with normal people, trying to go about their day. At some point, people are just going to drive forward without concern for the consequences. Ready? Oh, hang on. Let me just make it bigger and show you exactly what's going on here. People are getting peed off. Yep, won't be long. People are getting mighty peed off. Hang on, what else did they say? These videos are kind of fun to watch. Yeah, I don't know. Someone's going to get hurt eventually. Okay. Let's go back. I don't know how many times I've got to go back. Jordan B. Peterson, I know some people don't like him, but he said, give him hell, Danielle. Enough Trudeau's dealing death blows to the West, sucking up to the CCP. National Post said, Don Braid, as Trudeau's popularity falls, Daniel Smith smells blood and prepares for all-out battle. National Post. So he must be going down in the polls. Good. And again, Jordan B. Peterson said, woke capitalism, greed, propaganda, Qantas. Stick to flying, you bloody moralists. He's talking about Australian airline here. John Anderson AC said Qantas' promotion of the Yes campaign and provision of free flights for its supporters is dividing Australians. In the interest of capturing the true spirit of Australia and promoting a fair and balanced debate, Australia's national carrier should also offer free flights for the No campaign. How about just free flights for everyone? Oh, they're just like... Qantas are now giving people who promote the Yes campaign free flights. Tell me they're not biased. And Jordan B... How did I get a lot of Jordan B. Peterson in here? Anyway, maybe we should start government subsidising the conspiracy theorists. Hello. Yay. They seem to be the actual journalists. In Heaven has turned to Iron Canada. Rupa Subramanian, Okay, Rupa here says, so the conspiracy theorists were right again, that it was arson and not climate change. How disappointing for the climate alarmists. The Globe and Mail said Quebec man 37 charged with arson in connection with wildfires in Provence's north. The Globe and Mail said. Told you. We had it here in Australia 3 years ago. In 2019 to 2020, we had raging fires, and it turned out that people were lighting them. People who were sympathising with the climate change thing. They said they were against climate change and then went and lit fires. I don't know a better way of letting CO2 into the air, but anyway, let's not worry about that. Pauline Hanson said, childish slurs and name-calling, a perfect example of the desperation of Albanese's voice of division. Jenny Fracklington-Jones at Vote Yes. Okay, we're going to get some real weird stuff here. Okay, so you're not a racist, but you plan on voting no. Why align yourself with racists, the bigots and the cookers? Why not put your silly fears away, place yourself on the right side of history and vote yes? Which team are you on? No. John Howard is actually on no. That's surprising. Peter Credlin said no. Mark Latham said no. Scott Morrison said no. Tony Abbott said no. Andrew Bolt said no. Warren Mundine said no. Barnaby Joyce said no. Jeff Kennett said no. Rita Panahai said no. Corey Bernardi said no. Pauline Hanson said no. Ralph Babbitt said no. Michaela Cash said no. Mike Elliott, I don't know. Rowan Dean said no, and Greg Sheridan said no, and all these people said yes. Penny Wong, the infiltrator. John Farnham, Dan Andrews, Anastasia Palachuk, Jimmy Barnes, Midnight Oil, Marsha Langdon, Wendy Harmer, Jane Caro, Mark McGowan, Steve Brax, Morris Ayema, Anthony Albanese, and Philanthropy Australia, Reverend Bill Cruz and Jonathan Thurston. Okay. Well, to this lady here, you're a racist for voting yes, because you're dividing Australia by race, and isn't that the definition of racism? This, Illuminati bot. Okay. Let's have a little look at this. See if you can guess what this is before they get through the whole paperwork. I think you can see by the face there what it is. Look carefully, if you can, look carefully. Yes, it is. It is the Biden laptop. That's how thick the pages are of pictures and emails and things off that laptop. End wokeness. Reporter asked filmmaker Nikolai Sell why his movie is entirely Nordic and lacks diversity. The filmmaker said, well, first of all, the film takes place in Denmark in the 1750s.
This is a cast and a Danish production, which is entirely Nordic. It therefore has some lack of diversity, you would say, as also new rules are implied in Hollywood.
What are you on to?
Yeah, sorry, but
from the get-go.
From the get-go, there is some... Okay.
Well, first of all, the film takes place in Denmark in the 1750s.
This is a cast and a Danish...
They're complaining that a Nordic, a film called Entirely Nordic, oh, sorry, the film is entirely Nordic and lacks diversity. I don't know where are their brains? I really want to know where the brains are. And Javier Blas said at today's UK auction for offshore wind spectacularly flops. Let me re-up this opinion column from last December, because many months ago it was very clear where we were heading, but 10 Downing Street decided to adopt the ostrich policy. Rishi Sunak is full of the wrong kind of wind. His stance on wind turbines is making his predecessors look prime ministerial. European policy isn't much better. because they're not doing well selling these wind turbines. No one was buying. Anti-socialist Matt Canavan said, what a time for Australia to be getting into the offshore wind game. Build nuclear now. Because the UK government auction for offshore wind has failed to attract any bids, the latest sign of trouble brewing in the renewable energy industry. It's going to bring it down, I believe. And now Australia, of course, are getting into the ocean wind turbines. Great. I really want to see how the ships navigate those things. I would love to see that. Kate Shemarini, I hope I said that right. Let me break it to you gently. This is nothing new. I've seen this in my 37 years as a nurse, particularly my early years, abuse on many levels. I also whistleblew in the late 80s. Get ready for a court case with a conviction and then the usual inquiries and how they're going to put so much in place to stop it happening again. It won't stop it happening. The NMC was taken over by the government in 2001. Okay, this is pretty sickening, okay? This person, Mail Online has reported that this person said, I sedated one of them to within an inch of her life, lol. Bet she's flat for a week, haha. Caught his chilling text between two nurses sent after drugging patients on a hospital stroke unit for amusement during their shifts. Catherine Hudson and Charlotte Wilmot joked about killing or sedating patients. Wow. And I've heard quite a bit of this. This is why I will not go to a hospital unless I've broken a leg or cut myself open so bad that I have to go. I really don't want to go anywhere near a hospital. Certainly don't want to stay in one. Diver Jack Q said, well, said Jen, if they think we're wrong, start a dialogue, not a tirade of playground insults. Jen said, if you want to try and persuade me to change my vote, then don't go insulting me, calling me and anyone else who votes no a cooker, a racist, RWNJ, etc. really isn't going to work and just shows your lack of intelligence. I really thought you would have learnt this by now. Vote no, 2023. Oh, what's this? A Baron of Burleigh said the first two lines, effed it, pal, it's a lie, proved to me that an Aboriginal tribe was the first immigrant arrival because they weren't. But you want all dark-skinned people from 500 plus tribes to be roped into your First Peoples BS. They came from over 30 countries, over 30,000 plus years. Interesting, isn't it? I really want to know the truth about Aboriginals now. Like, I'm just hearing all this stuff, and I really, really want to know the truth. Because, you know, whatever they're telling you is not the truth. The history that they give you is not the truth. The victors write the history. Elon Musk has said here there was an emergency request from government authorities to activate Starlink all the way to Sevastopol. The obvious intent being to sink most of the Russian fleet at anchor. If I had agreed to their request, then SpaceX would be explicitly complicit in a major act of war and conflict escalation. And that's why he had to turn it off. OGP said, ha ha ha. Oh, what's going on here? Vivian Harris says, week 228, Bega climate strike. Bit windy today and with a fire near Cabargo, not good. Parts of Greece got a 1.5 years rainfall in 24 hours. We're in the climate emergency and our leaders are pretending it's business as usual. Quick, help, the sky is falling. Quick, quick, quick. I don't know, she doesn't look real healthy. Has she had too many boosters? I don't know. She's not saying much. She's saying nothing at all. Just standing there, that's going to work. I am sorry. Oh no, the guy next door's going to start his motorbike. Brad said, oh boy, anyone want to bet that these same people will bend over for a digital ID from the government because their data got stolen from a digital platform? Dear blank, we've become aware that some of our customer information may have been compromised. We're still investigating this, but we want to be proactive and warn you there's a chance that this has occurred. For now, we advise you to be vigilant and monitor your accounts for any unauthorised activity. As a precaution, change your password. We will update you as soon as we have more information to share. I'm having the same dramas at the moment. I've been a part of the Latitude and Medibank breach. I've had my Centrelink done, my PayPal, my email, multiple accounts made in my name, and just last week, my Telstra hacked. I can't effing win. This is so goddamn stressful. And this person said, I've had to replace my passport, and I've had 3 driver's licenses replaced with new ID numbers and 3 Medicare cards. I am so done. And these are the type of people who are going to fall straight for the digital ID under the guise of safety. Look, having everything online, people in other countries can now rob you, okay? At least before, they would have to approach you and physically try and attack you to rob you. They don't have to anymore. It's easier for them. From all different countries all over the world. Dwight said, I'm never deleting this app. Samantha or Samuel said trans men can develop prostates by taking testosterone. It's incredible. Then, my mistake, this is something I was told a few years back and I found some sources, but I think I misunderstood some of the material. Doesn't change the fact that you're all bigots though, because trans men cannot develop a prostate by taking testosterone. It doesn't work that way. We are completely different. Just like a man cannot grow a uterus just because he takes estrogen. You can't. It just won't happen. The opinionated black woman auntie said, wonder where all those cars and houses have gone. Whoops, my bad, I meant military funds. Breitbart News said the New York Times admitted that corruption has hit the highest level of Ukrainian politics as officials said military funds have vanished. Yeah, right into the pocket. I've been telling them that for ages. I wish someone would listen. Rob Smith said Albanese can get his ass home and stop handing out our dough like it's going out of fashion. He just gave the Philippines $65 million. Borrowed money, I might add. Taxpayer money? So he's just going out giving money to people. Other countries, not Australians. Forget the $275 cheaper bills, electricity bills we were supposed to have. Yeah, he's too busy giving it overseas to other countries. Travis said, remember all those people sentenced to life for storming the Capitol during the Kavanaugh hearings? Does anyone remember this? That's funny how no one's fleeing and, you know, like Nancy Pelosi did that other time when there wasn't really much going on at all. So, you know, rules for thee but not for me. Is that all the press getting their cameras ready, aimed at the door, just in case they break in? I don't know. But yeah, what happened to that? What happened to charging those people? And that was on a false... Like, Kavanaugh didn't do what they accused him of. Yeah, Candace Owens. Prayer signs at KTP, replying to real Candace Owen, whatever girlfriend, you killed it with elegance and grace. You're the kind of woman I want to raise my daughter to emulate, and no one is a bigger fan of yours than me. And your sincere desire to pray for that girl in the end was classy as it gets. God bless you. Candace Owens went on the Whatever podcast. I haven't watched it yet, but she did. And that's the podcast that has all the girls who do OnlyFans and, you know, and everything else. And some are really misled. But anyway, yeah, it looks interesting. I saw about the first 10 or 15 minutes, I think I saw. So I'm going to have to watch that again. Leading reports said Breaker, former House Speaker Newt Gingrich, says Barack Obama's in charge of the Biden administration, running it from the shadows, which I do think, yes, I have reported on before. Okay, that's 1 hour and 45 minutes worth of news. Wow. And I was going to go over to the Gateway Pundit and check what's going on over there. But yeah, that's... I didn't think I'd have that much news to go off, so there you go. Simone said, we've been wondering what's going on with the schools, RAAC concrete. Then today they announced Gatwick and Heathrow got RAAC concrete airport shutdowns. Darren said, I had an electric tank when I was a kid, just as you enjoy playing with the battery, with it the batteries die. Sal said, I value my sanity, Darren, especially with them using mnemonic technology to enter your subconscious. Sal said to entrance. David Cameron, how you going? I'll catch up with this tomorrow. Have a good one. Good people. You too, David. Sal said, later, David. Darren said, TV is dangerous, Sal. David said, hit the like button, by the way. Please do. Alex said, oh, really? Surprise, surprise. Stop the peasant planes, but leave the runways open for the private jets, eh, Simone? Darren said, oh my God, she thinks she's invented the landline. That was hilarious. Oh my goodness. I've still got one, but mine is, it's cordless, but I still have a landline. I just thought that was hilarious and I had to share that. Sal said, almost as dangerous as listening to Hev. What? Oh, TV's dangerous, almost as dangerous as listening to me. Yeah, MJ said landline. Shannon Spears said walkie-talkie or an intercom, lol. Alex said, I heard the other day that rocket fuel might just actually be water, like how that bloke made a water-powered car and mysteriously died. MJ said, I love walkie-talkies. Yeah, so do I. I've got some. George said, that is creepy. Alex said, that robot baby is creepy as far out Brussels sprout. Darren said, why get a robot to keep you up all night? I don't understand. I don't understand why you would even want one. If I had that thing in another bedroom, I'd be freaking out thinking, what? Nah, I'd put it outside in the rain. I wouldn't do it with that with a real baby, but with that one I would. A robot? No, I'd let it get wet until it stops working. Oh, MJ said, you know what weirdos will do with robot babies. Oh, God. I don't know, are they making them with, like, proper, what do you call it? Orifices? I hope not. Imagine that. Imagine if it started pooing and vomiting and peeing, and that'd be even worse. That'd be creepier. Shannon said, this is just the exoskeleton without the silicone suit. Yep. Hey, Deb, how you going? Simone said, exactly, Alex. Rumours they'll stop us flying within 10 years. They'll put those strange ATC problems causing travel stoppages. I don't believe anything. It's all set up for something else every time. Okay. Shane said, come on, man. Even Corn Pop and his gang of bad dudes voted for Biden, even though they died 20 years ago. I hear you, Shannon. Alex said, I think it will be before that, maybe within a couple of years. I believe If people believe this new lockdown, there is no hope, we'll be fugitives. Deb said, hey Shannon, not moist in Adelaide. MJ said middle finger. Shannon said, Good's supposed to do gutters today. Oh, are you playing with gutters? Replacing gutters? Darren said, Omega is the end. Oh, really? That's funny, because that's what my son's channel's called. But he does car racing. Shannon said, good. Yep, I read that one. Deb said, sorry, I'll never accept pedo. No, me neither. I don't ever accept that. George said they're weirdos. Shannon said, fuel up the wood chippers. Bring in capital punishment. Zal said, what is wrong with these pervs? Alex said, we're a rare breed these days. Pure bloods unite. Selena said, caught you. Flyby Stew said, nonsense, all of them. Shannon said, that's what dominoes over pizza or pasta means. A domino has a small number one end and a big number the other. Shannon said pedo code. Yep. Yeah, pizza and hot dogs and things is pedo code. George said, a lot of brainwashed adults and kids in this world. Hey Susie, how you going? Peeps, how's your Friday going? Alex said that was supposed to be Sal. I know George didn't. I don't know how anyone can be desensitized to it. Chat glitch for a second and names merged. My eyesight does that to me. Darren said you cannot lock up all cats. No. Yeah, they can. Look, I'd like to see them try. Come here and tell me that I can't use my fireplace or I can't have cats or let my cats out. I'll be in for a fight. A legal fight, not a, you know, I can't, anyone. Flyby, she said, Alex, where you been? Alex said, I was only off for one day, I had an early meeting, so just listened yesterday. Deb said, is the car in Melbourne reminds me of a drive, has done this before. Yeah, do you remember? Oh, there was a car chase through Melbourne and someone got hit, or yeah, I remember that. I think it's a false flag to take, I don't know. Either to try and make people pit each other, people against each other, or it's a distraction. I don't know. And if anyone's injured, my heart goes out to them for sure. I'm not heartless, but you know. Zal said, look at the skin hue. Susie said, we are way too awake. I don't think another home banishment will get off the ground, Alex. Flyby Stew said, Alex, I thought you might be intoxicated. Shannon said, old Holden wouldn't have folded up like that, lol. No, the old cars are better. Yep. Okay. Alex said, I suppose technically one day is 1,000 years in the Bible. MJ said, that is a threat. Selena said, waves at all that said hello. It's hard, isn't it, when you've got to try and, how many names? Hello this person, hello that person. Oh, man. Okay. Where am I up to here? George said, Obama's gay and Michelle's a trans woman. MJ said, I was late tonight, Susie. I was making dinner. Crazy rain and storms here too. We get that. We've had that for the last 2 days. We've had like high winds, and I have trees, right? Every time we have lightning strikes or high winds, I get a bit nervous because there are trees that come over my house. And it's not a brick house, and I have a tin roof, and I wonder, how easy would it be for a tree to come through the roof or the house, you know? It does. It makes me a bit nervous when there's high winds because I'm up in the mountains and the winds get pretty intense. So, Alex said, did you say Big Mike, George? Darren said, we need a storm. It's so muggy. Oh, it's freezing here. Oh, it's gone up a bit to 7 degrees, I believe. George says, anyone seen a photo of Michelle Obama pregnant? Oh, you remember seeing that? Oh, who was it? Someone was pregnant on Ellen's show, I think, and when they sat down, the whole stomach creased up. Because you can buy those baby bumps and look like you're pregnant. And it's not supposed to fold like that. When you are pregnant, your stomach will stay there no matter what you do. MJ said, I'll send you what we have, Darren, if you want it. Sal said, I think you'll find Obama's been replaced. I think a lot of them have. Alex said, I was saying that earlier, never a bad time to have a storm. Love them. I love them when I'm not surrounded by really, really big, tall trees. I'll do a video, okay? What I'll do is, sometime today I'm going to go outside and I'm going to show you what I see from the ground with all the trees around us. And you'll see what I mean. If lightning strikes one of those branches, it's going to come through the house. I can pretty much guarantee that. Darren said, Alex, a bad time to have a storm would be in a small boat on the sea. Alex said, I guess if you get stuck, that's not too good. Alex said, Tesla managed to find a way to do it. Susie said, I watched a show with Travis Fimmel about a girl from Torres Strait that got murdered. I had no idea these islanders were treated like slaves, forced to leave their home to come and pick fruit. Really? I think I rolled that too tight. It's not even smokable. Zal said, Alex, did you see the info I sent you? George said it's been hot in the UK the last few days. Alex said, no, Zal, where? Zal said, what, George? It was 28 degrees. Zal said, Darren said, yes, George, nearly the end of summer and it decides to warm up at last. Susie said, I've heard interviews with gay men that slept with Barry Soetoro and said he was out and the aggressor in the relationships. Alex said, I can't see it in the chat. What was it, Zal? Oops, it jumped. How much did it jump? A bit. A fair bit, actually. Oh, wow. Okay, hey Mob Rat Hunter, how you going? Facts over feelings, how you going? Hello everyone, I hope everyone has a great weekend. Shannon said I love animals as well, they are delicious, or I mean delightful. Yes, yes, delightful. Hey little Miss Nintendo fan. Flyby Stew said I got a tortoise called Jess. MJ said facts, I hope you have a great weekend too. Who else have we got in here? MJ said, what is with that? A neck? What the hell is that? A neck? Yeah, the woman who said she's getting bullied in Parliament here in Australia and she's got a big old Adam's apple. Mobrat Hunter said, what the hell is that? A woman in that pic? I don't think it is. Susie said, please give our Hev a thumbs up. Oh, God love you. Shannon said, quick, it's happening. The cats are eating Alex. What? George said, looks like a trans woman. Yes, that's what I thought. Alex said, when one of them calls, they all come running for strokes. Oh, when you call one of them, or when one of them calls. Mercy Muscat said, man, brow and Adam's apple. Little Miss Nintendo fans, she said she has a big case of man face. Alex said, Shannon, you crack me up. Mobrat Hunter said, looks like she is on steroids. Sherry said, women don't have an Adam's apple. We don't. Look, it goes in. It actually creases in. See? Flyby Stew said, g'day Muskrat. Hey, Menacing Muskrat, how you going? Sal said, Shannon, you carnivore. Little Miss Nintendo fan said, I don't know if I can say that. Or a cock. Zal said, she, shim, yep. MJ said, flyby had a turtle the size of a dinner plate named Cecil. Ooh. Shanna said, it's ma'am. Sal said, B. Pascoe is a real knob. Susie said, that person has 2 Adam's apples. Pat said, Parliament is full of trans. Linda Burney, do you reckon she is? Do you reckon she's a trans? I never thought of that. Shannon Spear said, it's ma'am. Remember that guy? It's ma'am. Sal said, stick and stone technology. George said, 2 Adam's apples, wow. MJ said, 2 heads. Alex said, I think it's to do with vocal cords. Sal said, Hev, they actually did. Actually, you did what? I forgot what you were up to. Or what I was up to at the time, because I'm way back in the chat now. George said, be right back off to the shop to get a few more beers. Susie said, that's hard to do, George. Shannon said, it's a long way. It's a long way to the shops if you want a sausage roll. Instead of it's a long way to the top if you want a rock and roll by AC/DC. Susie said, is this the racist ASMR channel? Ooh, Facts Over Feelings said it's 108 degrees here in Texas. Whoa. What's that, the high 30 degrees Celsius, or is that in the low 40s, or 108? MJ said she got band-aids on her finger. I can't remember who we were talking about there. Shannon said, you're watching a show. Yeah, we are. This is all being played out. It's controlled, highly controlled, and information coming out to show everyone what was happening behind the scenes. Susie said, just make sure you use non-aluminium baking soda, so don't use the orange box. Sal said, technology is being used to manipulate the weather, period. Facts Over Feelings said, Big Mike, yep. Facts Over Feelings says, Zal, 100% facts. Little Miss Nintendo fans said, want to bet Barack was effing the chef, or letting the chef F him. That would not surprise me. So we got Clinton-sided, people who've crossed the Clintons and have died. Now we've got Obama-sided. Obama-sided? Obama. Shannon said that is a Aussie show. We only talk Celsius. Where did that go? Oh, there it is. Sal said Big Mike didn't like the chef's serving size. Darren said, I didn't know whether had periods. Does that make it a woman? Darren said, you mean centigrade, Shannon? That's the old one, isn't it? Centigrade, and then it turned to Celsius. Wasn't it, Darren? Shannon said, well, the weather changes as often as a woman changes their minds. George says 73.4 Fahrenheit in London, 1:09 a.m. Ooh, nice and warm. Alex said, I think they've been manipulating it since the 50s, but it's gotten much worse with technology. Well, yeah, because the corporations use the weather technology to change the weather as well. Zal said, yes, Shannon, the weather is fine. Shannon said, F an oath, I do. Oh, mate. Zal said, 100%, Alex, I think you'll find they've been doing it longer than that. MJ said, I do not trust Shim. Alex said, they nuked the firmament back in the day with zero success, obviously hence why they come up with NASA to make people gullible enough to believe their BS. Fax said, yes, Alex. MJ said, sperm is male doesn't make me a dude. Zal said, cognitive dissonance to the extreme. Alex said, sadly, some people still have faith in NASA, which was set up by a head Nazi, Werner von Braun. He was the one who did the rockets for them. Why aren't those things alarm bells for everyone? Because they created TV programming, I guess. Glad I never subscribed. George said, Is Oprah Winfrey going to put her own money into the recovery into Maui? No. She raised, her and The Rock raised $10 million to start a fund. Does it take $10 million to start a fund or something? Like, seriously? Starchild said, I think she's mistaken Lilith for Eve. Darren said, no, God used Adam's rib and developed a woman from it. Sal said, what are facts? Facts over feelings said, wow. Alex said, I was thinking that too, but I thought I would give a ballpark of 50s, Sal. Alex said, I just wish people would snap out of it. Shannon said, I'd just give them a one-off payment of $700, then send billions to Ukraine and give illegals housing and money. Yeah, exactly. Sal said, we can wish Alex Samar. Shannon said, yeah, Eve was rib, then transitioned into a see you in the NT. Shannon. Shouldn't talk like that about Eve. MJ said, most brutal and ruthless climb. George said, who? WEF and the EU should not be trusted. Alex said, I see it like this. And then nothing. Sal said, then apparently transition again, Shannon. Alex said, that woman was made out of a rib of the side of Adam, not made out of his head to rule over him, nor out of his feet to be trampled upon by him, but out of his side to be equal with him. There you go. I pretty much agree with that. But even though we're very different, men and women are very, very different, right? But we are, we support each other. It's like teamwork, you know. Women can't do what men can do, and some men can't do what women can do, although men would probably find it easier to do what women do. But anyway, because women don't have the strength that men have, so we have trouble keeping up with them in that way. Yeah, so under his arm to be protected and near his heart to be beloved. That's beautiful, Alex. Caesar said, I saw the Gabbard interview on Rogan. The US has now sent more than $9 billion to Ukraine, accidentally sending $4 billion. It will take $5 billion to fix Lahaina, and they don't want to do it. Yeah, Shannon's written XX and XY. So, like, we share DNA, but it's because we're human beings, I believe. Facts over feelings, said Alex. I think many of the normies are waking up, thanks to people like us, question everything. Little Miss Nintendo fan said, a woman is made of a man's shoes, but she's still a woman. Shadow said, Hot Pants Tedros. Yeah, who's actually a terrorist. I didn't know he was that bad. Zal said, Tedros must be Davros' brother. Tedros the terrorist. MJ said, sippy, hippie, shake, skippy straw. Alex said, long may it continue, facts over feelings. Pat said, that's a prison. Darren said, God must have had an idea to create woman when he created Adam, otherwise he would have needed to alter some of Adam's features too. Susie said, Tedros is a sock puppet for Bill and Manlinda Gates. Facts over feelings, said Alex, it's our only hope. Alex said, God never makes mistakes, Darren. And Alex said, nothing is a coincidence. No, there are no coincidences. Little Miss Nintendo fan said, what about wasps? What about wasps? They can be dangerous. George said, these are two sexes. There are two sexes, men and women. Mobrat Hunter said, always leave everything in God's hands. God always comes through. God wins. I'm telling you, this in particular, God's going to win. MJ said, put him in jail. Shannon said, and by 15 minutes, they mean how far you can walk in 15 minutes, not drive. Exactly. Facts over feelings says, yes, there are no coincidences. And Facts also says, MRH, 100%. Alex said, wasps can make paper. Everything has a purpose. All trees are connected through the mycelium network, for example. Ants help aerate the earth to help it all come together. So many other things. Sal said, don't say that too loud, George. Apparently, according to the delusional majority, there's more. It's up to 58 or more these days. Now affirm your acquiescence. Because there's 58 or more genders now. Look, if someone come up to me and told me to call them they, their, whatever, Ziza, I don't care, I'd say, have a nice day, and turn around and walk the other way. I'm not playing that game. Sorry, but no, I'll call you by your name. I was always taught it was rude that in front of someone you say them. I'm serious, I was taught that was rude. If there's someone with you and you're talking about them, say their name. You don't say them. Okay. My Brad Hunter said, I believe that totally facts. Facts said, good will always prevail. Alex said, I wish people would learn how this earth truly works. Maybe then people will have more respect for everything. Facts over feelings said, yep, Alex, with prayer hands. George said, Zal, I will not be indoctrinated into this mad world. Shannon said, that's a high price to pay for WASP paper, Alex, and they never forget a face with their photographic memories, lol. Alex said, evil doesn't want that though, hence why we are where we are. The devil rules now, but his time is up and he knows it. Not long now before the big pop. I'm waiting for it. Any minute, I swear. We're going to see things popping off all over the place. Little Miss Nintendo fan said, that told me. Sal said, Hev, that story sounds like the trauma network Kathy O'Brien exposed in her books. Her first one, Transformation of America, is a good one to read. I've heard a lot, like, from Kathy O'Brien. I've heard her talk a lot, but I've never read one of her books. I'll have to see if I can get one. MJ said, put Khan in jail so they can essay her. I'm so sick of this. Whoops. Where am I up to? Oh, shoot. Shannon said, Alex said, Shannon, my mate told me earlier he got stung by a wasp that kept going. Well, the thing with wasps is they can sting over and over again, where a bee can only sting once. Shannon said, the only thing written on wasp paper is your last will and testament. Sal said, Rumsfeld pushed aspartame on the world. There you go. Fact said, Alex, Sodom and Gomorrah all over again. Susie said, Alex, have you had a tough week, hun? You sound a bit low. Shannon said, bees are one and done. Wasps, repeat offenders. Sal said, I leave a wasp nest near my growing veggies so they eat the bugs. Alex said, I think history will just keep repeating itself, facts over feelings. It will until we learn and change it. That's what is happening now. There are big changes coming. The world won't be the way it is, nor the way it was. It'll be better, I believe, because we're going to know true freedom. Not the fake freedom that we've all been taught, and while the government just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and takes away more of our rights. Shannon said, it's in the sugar-free ones. Call it cancer, sugar, Coke, Zero, and Pepsi Max. Alex said, I've had a really good week, actually. Sorry if I sound negative. I'm probably being a bit sarcastic as I can't be bothered with how ridiculous it's all getting. I'm good, though, Susie. Facts said, Alex, more so than ever now that evil people are trying to rewrite history. We're doomed to repeat it. Alex said, I love those Pauline cartoons. Yep, Pauline Hanson's cartoons are good. Alex said, people have had enough. Facts over feelings said, nice, swift kick in the ass. Sal said, CC activists deserve more than kicking. Oh, seriously? Little Miss Nintendo fan said, pour oil over them. That'd freak him out. Alex is laughing. Facts. Pat said the. MJ said, release the skunks on them. I like your ideas, guys. Alex said, Karma, menacing goes, go Denali Smith, Premier of Alberta, Canada. Oh, cool. Facts said, Zal, it's about FAFO time. Fuck around and find out, for sure. Alex said, I would never kill any bug because I don't want to be the bad karma. Susie says, oh, I am glad that you had a good week. I think we're now in that stage where we're fed up, bored of these clowns, but no big changes have happened yet, but it's coming, Ducky. I can feel it. You can feel it. The suspense is building. Alex said always try and just put them back in nature. What, the climate activists? Yeah, put the climate activists back in nature and see how they live. Let's stick them on an island somewhere where there's nothing and see how they go. I want to see them try and survive, like Survivor. Shannon said, yoink, yeet. Darren said, every wildfire I've heard of lately has been found to be man-made. Yep. Little Miss Nintendo fan said, I don't kill anything. Well, not on purpose. The odd liberal here and there. Oh, no. Susie said, Jordan Peterson just did an interview with Oliver Anthony. Did he? Sal said, even Anthony Mundine said no. Darren said, who is called Midnight Oil? Strange name. It's an Aussie band. They used to sing this song and it went, and the bloke couldn't dance. He used to do this. Looked like he was having some sort of fit. I don't know. It just looked like that to me. I don't know. And he used to sing, U.S. forces give the nod. Dun, 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 dun. It's a setback for your country. They were like anti-war, anti-US, and all for paying reparations in their song Beds Are Burning. And the head of the band is called Peter Garrett. Now he's a politician. Alex said, I've just been watching silly stuff and drawing all week. I took up art classes and really enjoying it, Susie. I'm going to start posting some on my Planet Alex channel. Well done, Alex. You can put the link in if you want. And people can sub to you if they want. Sal said, all those yes people are the cabal stooges embedded into the system. Stu said, no step on snack, Alex. Yeah, no step on snack. Keck. Shannon said they fiddling the statistics. I think they might be. Susie said, Darren's worse than that. They told us that 2 of our fires were started by children. Demonic shit to do something so evil and blame a kid. Yeah, they normally try that. Stu said, hiya there. How you going, Stu? Shannon said, how about no? Menacing Muskrat said, did everyone hear that President Trump's mugshot number leads you to the DOD? Coincidence? I think not. No, the military are running things. That's what that executive order that Biden just signed was all about. If there is interference in any selections happening anywhere, the military take over, and I believe that's what's been happening. And then we're being shown exactly what they wanted to do. Alex said, no, how interesting at Menacing Muskrat. MJ said, what is it? When are the birds? Where are the birds? Fax said, Alex, do you have a YouTube channel? Yes, she does. It's called Planet Alex. Stu said, we miss you when you're not here, Alex. Yeah, we do. MJ said, dodging all their blades. Sal said, I liked offshore wind regularly. Alex said, I miss not being in the chat too. Love you all. Stu. Menacing Muskrat said, got nectarines and pears cans starting on peaches. Menacing Muskrat. I wish you were closer so I could learn from you. Susie said, Alex, that's great. It's important to keep your vibes up. Anger and fear are very low vibe. Art puts beauty in the world. Anything that brings love, joy and laughter is what you want around you. Shannon said, see who's Nordic or nice. Stu said, peaches and cream. Menacing Muskrat said, Shannon, how's socks? MJ said, big signs around here for LPNs paying off 100% of the student debt. Really? Shannon said she's good, was under the covers with us this morning, is now outside checking things out. The kitty cat, socks. Alex said, yes, but I haven't done much as I really didn't know what to do with it, but might start doing some art related and feel good videos. I named it Planet Alex, Facts Over Feelings. Hey Robin, how you going? Susie said Vikings are totally inclusive. They essayed, pillaged and killed everyone equally. Flyby Stew said, how's about I roll you in the flour to see where the wet bit is? For fuck's sake, lol. Sal said, Hev, the elder who initiated the elders I work with, said Aboriginal people have been here for more than the times they tell us, and that they came from the south, the lands beyond the ice wall. Well, see, look, if that's the case, I would really like to know. Just want the truth. We all just want the truth. I'm sick of being fed BS. Darren said, there's always been windy days. Stu said, behind the ears, probably Flyby. Sal said also, one of the other elders in their group said there's a connection to ancient Egypt, and Egypt from time not in historical records, in a different vibrational realm. Alex said, tell me about it. I started letting it get to me last year, and then I thought, what's the point? It's all part of the process, so I thought I would ride with the waves. Yeah, if you think about it like you're watching a movie, then it makes more sense, and you don't get as stressed out either. Try and keep the. I mean, I still do every now and then. I go, oh, and then I go, you're watching a movie. Oh, yep. Sal said they're taking millions of years, and they also say every race was here in the time of Pangea, every colour and size of being. Fact, said Alex, is it the one with the kitty cat pic? Sal said, as well as other beings too, as evidenced by some of the skulls my elders have. If you want to, Alex, put your link in. MJ said, Sal, do you have a channel? Facts over feelings said, all good when the left do it. Stu said, my feel-good moment lately is watching the Royal Commission drill these prices. Sal said, no, sorry, MJ, no time for that. Stu said, pics, lol. I was looking for an R in that word, sorry. Sal said, by the way, I'm not Aboriginal in any way. Fax said, much love for Candace Owens. Oh, yeah. Sal said, their history works in with a lot of the other stuff I'm aware of. Oh, you did mean to put the R in that word, Stu. Pricks. Flyby said, oh, you do more tapping than a blind man's stick, just asking. Nursing Muskrat said, Trump rally's on tonight on Rumble. MJ said, thanks, Nursing. Yes, I'll try and make this sort of quick. Alex said, no, hopefully Hev won't mind me sharing my link. I've really never shared it before because I didn't know what to do, but if I can share some drawings, maybe I'll do that. Definitely, Alex. I don't mind you putting your link in there. Darren said, what happened to Candace? Oh, nothing. She just went on to the Whatever podcast. The young ladies that normally do OnlyFans. And she held up well. Made a lot of sense. Even said to one of the girls, I'll pray for you. So, because if half these girls didn't do OnlyFans and, you know, like, they're going to find it difficult when they get older to find a man who, like, they probably won't. There's a lot of better males out there who would probably take them, but like, you know, a real man who, you know, with that relationship you have with one person, and also your kids seeing it later on, because nothing's ever erased from the internet. So if you've put it up there, your kids are going to come across it eventually, and probably their children will be picked on. You know what it's like in school. People find a photo of your mum naked, they'll, look at that, and there you go. Oh, my stomach's rumbling again. Alex said, somewhere else we can all hang out maybe. Susie said, do you have any pictures of cats, Alex? George said, just got back from the shop, sweating. MJ said, I'm already subbed to you, Alex, love your art. Flyby Stew said, bring it on, Alex. Susie said, what did you buy, George? Fax said, Alex, awesome. Candace is one of my favourite activists of all time. She's very quick-witted and intelligent. George said, a few beers, Susie. Alex said, my channel for anyone that wants to see any art and cats. Susie said, what kind, George? I had a Belgian beer called Golden Drac. Excellent. 11% alcohol. 2 knocked me on my ass. Yeah, even a normal beer will knock me on my... I can't drink. Stu said, is beer o'clock already, George? George said, just subbed to your channel, Alex. Fax said subbed. Flyby Stu said subbed, Alex. Alex said, I get really shy going on camera. I have so much respect for Hev being able to do this. Week in and week out, I'd like to give something back and have another safe space for us. Oh, it jumped again. Oh, that jumped big. In a big way. Oh, wow, where am I? I'm back to where I was. George said it's beer o'clock for a few hours, Stu. Oh, it's been beer o'clock for a few hours. Susie said, I just subbed to Planet Alex too. Lovely. Alex said, thank you. Facts, George. Hopefully I'll be brave enough to make more videos. I know I'm all right once I get going. It's just getting there. Sorry, my stomach is... I'm hungry. It's growling at me. Stu said, hooray, 2 beers per hour per man, perhaps sending daily standing orders, George. Flyby Stu said, so Alex, you better get some content for me to spanner. Alex said, I'll try my best, Flyby. Shannon said, called a moon bump. Yeah, the fake pregnant bellies are called a moon bump. Fact said, I completely understand, Alex. I'm thinking about starting a channel, but I definitely will not be going live. Maybe just a political, anti-liberal clip channel, etc. Yeah, sometimes they do the best. Flyby Stu said, do some sort of live on Hev's day off. Can have a laugh. George said, France beat New Zealand in the Rugby World Cup opener. Fact said, fly, good idea. Susie said, I'm so proud of you, Alex. Your channels look great. Did you do that picture of that woman? Deb said, I'm back and my mum called from Ireland. Oh, lovely. Alex said, that's a man, Austin Powers. Fax said, have a great weekend, everyone. I always enjoy hanging out here. God bless you too, Facts. MJ said, goodbye, Fax. Till next time. Alex said, welcome back, Deb. Hope your mum is well. Everyone's saying goodbye to Facts. Flyby said, you Irish then, Deb Richardson. My grandparents on mother's side are from Ireland. George said, Ireland is a beautiful country. I was born in Ireland, but my name is Scottish. And I'm in Australia. There you go. Deb said, yes, she's well. It's my birthday at the end of the month, so she's sending a parcel. Oh, Deb said, yes, I don't need the ancestry test to tell me I'm half Irish. Alex said, I think it's supposed to be 34 degrees Celsius in the UK tomorrow, getting that cloud seeding good. 93.2 degrees. Well, then 108 must be in the 40s, is it? Alex said, it's supposed to be raining now. Ah, Susie said 180 is 42 degrees Celsius. There you go. That's hot. That's when I'm like the Wicked Witch of the West. I'm melting. George said, thank God I bought a fan the other day. Flyby Stu said, you do sound like a Paddy, Deb. Susie said 42 degrees is desert temperature. Alex said, I think it made that last year in London with all the glass buildings, Susie. Menacing Muskrat said, Carrie Lake talking to a reporter about transgender while is milking a cow, and Carrie turns to the reporter and says, try milking a bull. This occurred today at the Idaho Air. It was perfect. Alex said, testing the microwaves. Deb said, no, I don't sound Irish, just act like one. Alex said, I hope they don't do us all like Maui. Yeah, well, Canada copped it as well, didn't they? George said, same here, Deb. MJ said, curry is cool. Alex said, I guess the devil's fuel is fire, though. A Flyby Stu said, what daft as a brush, lol. George said, I'm half English and Irish. Flyby Stu said, let's see if blue paint sales go through the roof, lol. Deb said, my roof has a lot of blue in the colour, not as bright, so I should be okay if they do Adelaide. Alex said, we're so lucky to be living in these times. As long as we don't fall back into their game, we are about to go through something massive and I'm ready. God wins. I agree, Alex. Deb said, I know I have Irish, Scottish and English so far. George said, my dad's side of the family is from Waterford. Alex said, I have English and French, Deb. MJ said, Irish are prolific. Yes, we get around. Flyby Stew said, Deb, that's just cancelled all the English and Irishman jokes. For fuck's sake, lol. Shannon said, I wasn't talking about Eve, I was talking about that tramp ho spouting that BS. Oh, okay, yep. Stu said, Welsh, English, German and Scottish. Deb, I'm a bit of a mutt, I guess, but I'm 100% Aussie now. Deb said, I'm going to get a cross and show them, them. Deb said, exercise the demons out of them. Deb said, I was born is so I can add Australia to my list. Alex said, happy, happy, joy, joy. Susie said, speaking of the differences between men and women, I do love way men throw, skip stones and duck out of the way when stuff gets chucked at them. Beautiful. We can't do that as well. No, we can't. Reactions are slower. I'm not nowhere near as strong as any man, I'll tell you that now. I'm weak. Flyby Stew said, what's crack with Danny Masterson? He just got 30 years in jail. I haven't heard about it. Alex said, who is that, Flyby? George said, who is Danny Masterson? Alex said, I see another terrorist attack that escaped inside job convict. Deb said, 10:44 a.m. Adelaide, cloudy, not moist yet. Alex said, they're probably setting up the scene as we speak. Keep on guard, everyone. George said, I hope not, Alex. Flyby Stew said he was in the 70s show, Scientologist member. Alex said, climate activists wouldn't last a minute, too busy using glue, which is against their agenda, apparently. MJ said, oh, Flyby Scientologists, that show bad, all of them. Deb said, UK is ready to give the new vaccine. Mama was expecting to get hers in the next 2 months. Susie said, Danny Masterton was a Stephen Hyde on that 70s show. He's a second-generation Scientologist and serial essayist. Just got life in prison for the essay of 3 women. Oh, really? Stu said, an island is a great idea, Hev. Maybe an island where our military can use as a target. Yeah, to send all the climate activists to. MJ said, the 70s show, look at cast, bad. I've never watched that 70s show. Alex said, hope not either, but there is always a pattern, George. They're mentioning this bloke so much and now offering a £20,000 reward to catch him. Alex said, something doesn't add up, George. George said, Daniel Khalif breakout from prison was an inside job. MJ said, canned peaches, love. Yeah. Alex said, Daniel Khalif, police investigate first, confirm sighting of escaped terror suspect and offer a £20,000 reward. Susie said, George, the next trial will be the civil trial and they can introduce Scientology into proceedings as a place where there was a culture of SA that will end Scientology because it will expose all. Scientology reminds me of NXIVM. I don't know why. I really don't. But it does remind me of NXIVM. Do you remember that? Alison Mack and all the branding on ladies' pelvises and stuff. MJ said, probably a distraction, Alex. George says, someone helped him, Alex. Alex said, I think so, just like everything else in MSM. Alex said, inside job defo, George. Susie said, I just made salmon patties. What temp should I do them at for maximum crispiness? I don't know, the higher the better, I'm thinking, for maximum crispiness. As long as they don't get stuck to the pan. Yum. Flyby Stew said, name is very suspicious. Khalif, same as Bummer's daughter's names. Alex said, the spell is slowly breaking and I pray every day that people see it. Where am I up to? Okay, I'm close now. Alex said, thank you, heaven sent, love you. I love you too, guys. Menacing Muskrat says, Susie Fraser, frying pan or oven? Stu said, air fryer crispy patties would be yummy. Susie said, oven, Muskrat. Menacing Muskrat said, Candace Owen is one woman of class. Yes. Flyby Stu said, was talking to neighbour this afternoon about Obama. He doesn't believe he's gay, fast asleep. George said, I do like Candace Owen. She speaks her mind. MJ said, oh, menacing, all respect, but she is G. Hand signs, all that. College signs, look. Susie said, they say parchment paper is good up to 450 degrees Fahrenheit, but starts disintegrating at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. What's up with that? Menacing Muskrat said, I usually do a pan fry, then finish in the oven, Susie. MJ said, good night, everyone. Have a great weekend. You too, MJ. Susie said, OnlyFans means after people pay you show everyone the view a normal person saves for their gynecologist, right? Yep. Dara says, Susie, maybe 450 is its flashpoint. Menacing Muskrat said, good night, MJ. Have a good one. Everyone's saying good night, MJ. Alex said, I missed so many comments. So sorry I was on top chat. Bloody heck. Susie said, get your gym jams on, MJ. Night night. Alex said, I was on live chat before it went weird and I didn't notice. Darren said, how does it decide what is top chat? Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. George said, Ireland #1 in the world for rugby right now. Hope Ireland do well in the Rugby World Cup. Stu said, who here still wears pyjamas, lol? Alex said, I started doing AI art and got bored, so decided to take up art lessons about 3 weeks ago and loving it. I have more to share and I'll try to do a live over the weekend. Good. Susie said, probably right, Darren. Alex said, need to ease myself into it. It's scary going live. It can be, like nerve-wracking. Flyby Stu said, Alex, what you like at portraits? Alex said, once again, I don't know how you do it and love you for it. Have somewhere we can all come together and see through all the BS. Yeah, I don't know how I do it either, because at the beginning I was very nervous on going live. Extremely nervous. But as time went on, you get used to it, and now it's like second nature. Okay, Stu said, Alex, you're one of the first to go live with Heaven. I recall David Morgan was live and Menacing and even Randy too. I remember that. Alex said, I haven't tried a full portrait yet, but I've been working on individual features of realistic art. I've been doing more cartoony pictures this week, but I'll get back onto the realistic flyby. I hope Randy's doing okay too. We don't see him all the time in here, but yeah, I hope he's doing all right. Alex said, I would be happy to try and do pictures. I need more ideas for drawing. George said, yeah, Hev, I remember that. Alex said, I really enjoyed doing the 7.5-hour New Year's special. It's a lot of fun once I get into it, but it's scary getting there, Stu. Darren said, you could draw a bath, Alex. George says, sweet dreams, MJ. Alex said, very clever. Stu said, Navy have issue PJ guys. Navy have issue PJs, guys, lol. Pat said, judging by the expected fire areas Albanese forecast on the news, Queensland and New South Wales will be in the line of fire. Did it mention the Blue Mountains? I mean, we had fires 4 years ago. We don't need more, but... And then how do I get all the chickens and the cats and everything if we have to leave the property because of a fire? Oh, Pat said, judging by the... Oh, yep, I read that one. Menacing said, since the jabber, over 400 athletes have died. Crazy, and it's the beginning. Deb said, I love PJs to sit watching telly on cook. Cold, not cook. Alex said, love to Randy. And George said, yes, Menacing. And with that, guys, I think I'm going to leave it there for today. I will not be here tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday, isn't it? I keep forgetting what bloody day it is. I was lucky I remembered it was the Friday, Saturday live stream today. So there you go. Okay, guys, I'll leave it there for today. I won't be back tomorrow, but I will be back on Monday. Yeah. So have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and I will definitely talk to you soon. Have a good one, guys. Much love, and see you later. Okay. Bye, guys.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright. And for the first time in a long time, I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays. Way back a year ago. I'm not falling. I'll push all my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head up high through the downs and lows. And we're all going live, still nobody knows. But I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes. And ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays. Way back a year ago. Back a year ago.